Chapter 118. The Fall of the Black-Pupiled Demon B1123. The black-pupiled demon bull stomped its four hooves, creating tremors in the mountains and rivers. Its massive body leaped up and tore through the sky, charging towards the flying Zhuang Zijin with its demon energy-enveloped horns flickering with a dim glow. Seeing the imminent crisis, Zhuang Zijin's face remained unchanged, and he murmured softly, "If you don't intervene now, when will you?" His voice was so low that no one could hear it. But the moment his words fell, a golden lightning bolt the thickness of a finger suddenly erupted, displaying unparalleled speed as it instantly tore through the air and arrived. Caught off guard, the black-pupiled demon bull's expression changed involuntarily. With a shudder, its instincts told it to dodge. B0XO. Calm, however, the golden lightning bolt instantly expanded, covering the sky in an instant, transforming into numerous lightning bolts as it rained down. Each lightning bolt exuded terrifying power and shattered the sky as they struck the massive body of the black-pupiled demon bull. Ah! The violent lightning shattered the demon energy that enveloped the black-pupiled demon bull, causing it to shriek in agony as its massive body was engulfed by the sizzling lightning. Zhuang Zijin, who had originally been retreating, focused his gaze at this moment, flipped his spear around, pouring his true origin into it, and forcefully pushed it forward with both hands. The spear transformed into a golden dragon, hurtling towards the black-pupiled demon bull. Seeing the incoming golden spear, the black-pupiled demon bull, entangled in lightning, panicked even more and shouted, "Save me!" The sound echoed through the sky, shaking the heavens and earth. Caught off guard by the sudden appearance of an unknown powerhouse, the green-pupil demon ape was momentarily shocked. As it recovered, its expression turned alarmed. If it allowed the black-pupiled demon bull to be slain by their opponent, not only would their plan to attack the Eastfield giant city crumble, but the subsequent schemes would also be severely affected. Roar! With a roar, the green-pupil demon ape's eyes turned fierce, and the undulating demon energy around its body transformed into a black lightning bolt that tore through the sky, diving down. "You can't save him!" Once again, golden lightning appeared in the sky, transforming into countless fine bolts that intertwined, forming a golden lightning net that sealed a part of the void, spreading downwards. Feeling numb all over, the green-pupil demon ape's prided defense and body would not be so useful under this giant lightning net. Fortunately, it was only a painful sting and numbness, not causing any real harm to its body. In its green pupils, a golden figure flew towards it from a distance, surrounded by sizzling lightning bolts, crossing the sky and attacking. Lu Yun's eyes narrowed slightly as he looked toward the center of the golden lightning in the sky. Through the golden lightning, he could vaguely see the person's face, which revealed a touch of surprise. That was Elder Lei Kang, who had traveled with them on the black boat to the Eastfield giant city. Despite the distance, Lu Yun was 100% sure that it was indeed Elder Lei Kang. As for why he suddenly appeared and was fighting the green-pupil demon ape, it was obvious. It was probably not just a coincidence but a well-planned scheme. However, the strength displayed by Elder Lei Kang was far beyond Lu Yun's expectations. Just from the golden lightning blanketing the sky and the intense pressure that he could sense from afar, one could imagine the terrifying power behind it. Roar! The green-pupil demon ape let out an enraged roar, its already massive body enlarged even further in an attempt to burst through the enveloping lightning net. With a bang, the lightning net exploded, and an incredibly dark giant club struck the sky. The air shattered, creating violent winds. The entire world was plunged into darkness by the overwhelming demon energy. A futile struggle, Lei Kang's cold voice resounded from within the golden lightning, filled with strong confidence. "Nothing can stand in my way." The green-pupil demon ape tore through the sky with its club, breaking the seal of the golden lightning and heading towards the black-pupiled demon bull as reinforcement. However, the golden lightning seemed unending, layer upon layer, overwhelming with power, making it impossible to tear through completely. The infuriated green pupil demon ape roared wildly and brandished its pillar of the sky-like black club, creating waves of terrifying winds. Demon Bull, today is your demise. At this moment, Zhuang Zijin was even more formidable than at the beginning, his blue armor clashing loudly. The golden light of his spear erupts like a golden sun, crashing down towards the enormous body of the demon bull. For a moment, the golden light was intensely bright, illuminating heaven and earth. In the sky, angry howls echoed, tragic and heroic. Following that, with a crack, the bull's horn broke, its demonic body torn apart, blood raining down, an astounding sight. The six-order demon beast's body was incredibly strong, with an abnormal defense and terrifying vitality. One attack could only severely wound it, but could not completely kill it. However, for Zhuang Zijin, inflicting such damage meant that the enemy's demise was not far away. The battle was ferocious, the black-pupiled demon bull enraged. Its demon energy filled the sky, golden light dazzling, endless collision shockwaves spreading in all directions. The battle had fully escalated into a white-hot one. Boom! Zhuang Zijin, like a golden war god, was indomitable. With one strike he cut off the last remaining horn of the black-pupiled demon bull, leaving a gaping hole in its skull. The golden spear light completely suppressed the terrifying demon energy. The black-pupiled demon bull roared incessantly, its cries shaking the heavens, blood flowing like pillars, splattering in all directions. Zhuang Zijin, growing increasingly fierce as the battle went on, merged with his spear, displaying an air of unrivaled dominance. With every move, storms churned and spear light surged. Die! Killing intent revealed in his eyes, true origin exploded, spear light flickering, omnipresent across heaven and earth. A peerless, invincible spear tore through the sky, opening the heavens, cleaving downward. With a puff, the head of the black-pupiled demon bull was cut off, blood spraying high, painting the surrounding space red. Whoosh! Spear light like a rainbow, another sweep pierced through the body of the black-pupiled demon bull, creating a blood-soaked hole from its back to its chest. The golden spear flipped in midair, again erupting with spear light, like a giant sun plummeting downward. With a plop, the enormous head flew off the massive body of the black-pupiled demon bull, crashing into the ground, stirring up countless dust and blood mist. Seeing the enormous head fall not far away, Lu Yun's killing intent suddenly faltered, his expression a mix of astonishment and shock. A sixth-ranked black-pupiled demon bull was killed just like that? Rumble. The black-pupiled demon bull's massive body fell from the sky, smashing the ground into a huge pit, its blood gushing forth, emitting a terrifying demon energy and an intense vicious aura, causing hearts to tremble from afar. The golden spear descended from the sky, sticking straight into the corpse of the black-pupiled demon bull. Golden light scattered, a valiant, martial figure slowly descended, standing on one foot on the golden spear. In the raging wind, Zhuang Zijin's battle robe flapped loudly, his hands behind his back, his cold eyes scanning all directions, the powerful aura suppressing all demons, causing them all to collapse to the ground. The spear light blossomed, scattering in all directions, countless demon bodies exploding, blood splattering, staining the broken battlefield in red. The general is divine. The general is divine. Invincible! Invincible! Endless shouts echoed, immense momentum stirring. At this moment, the attention of all was on Zhuang Zijin, who was truly invincible. Chapter 119. The demonic tide recedes, the banquet begins on the broken and bloody battlefield. The great Morijin army watched as Zhuang Zijin forcefully killed the black-pupiled demon bull and crushed countless demons with his indomitable spirit. Their blood boiled with excitement, and their hearts filled with triumphant conviction. It was as if they had been reinfused with courage, becoming fearless warriors once more. My generals, follow me in exterminating these beasts. An assistant general held a shield in his left hand and a blade in his right, leading a group of remnants and defeated soldiers in a counterattack. Demon slaying! Demon slaying! B0XO! Calm countless roars erupted simultaneously, stirring up a strong momentum that scared the group of demon beasts to tremble in fear. The fall of the black-pupiled demon bull was already a huge blow to the demon beast. Now, with the Golden Body Realm experts arriving and the Morrigan army becoming fearless, both the momentum and the morale completely crushed the demon beast army. AOU! In the sky, thunder exploded, and demon energy rolled. A vast sea of golden thunder sealed the green-pupiled demon ape. Lei Kang pointed his finger, and a thick and violent golden thunder locked onto the green-pupiled demon ape, making it fall. It was like a divine thunder descending from the sky, incredibly fast and unavoidable, striking the enormous demon body of the green-pupiled demon ape. Boom! The body of the black-pupiled demon ape fell heavily to the ground, spattering boundless dust and dirt while being struck by the force of thunder. Roar! 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 Feeling the pain from its body, the green-pupiled demon ape angrily roared and swung its massive black staff, sweeping away the surrounding innocent demon beasts and soldiers alike. Blood splattered everywhere, a sight too gruesome to watch. With a clang, Zhuang Zijin walked through the air bathed in golden light as the spear in his hand quivered and the black-pupiled demon bull's body exploded. At the same time, a golden thunderbolt fell, and Lei Kang, clad in fluttering robes, emerged from the lightning. His golden eyes, flashing with thunder, stared intently at the green-pupiled demon ape as it rampaged. This battle should come to an end. Lei Kang's aura surged, and the golden lightning around his body grew more intense. Reaching out a hand, a golden giant hand in the void appeared and grabbed at the green-pupiled demon ape. As his fingers gradually closed, the golden thunder encased the green-pupiled demon ape's gigantic body, continuously exploding and unleashing a fierce attack. The green-pupiled demon ape let out an angry roar, and its demonic energy surged like an ocean. It slammed its staff against the falling giant hand of golden thunder, and its green eyes flickered with a strange light. Huh! Lei Kang's pupils constricted, and a strong sense of danger rose in his heart. All he saw was the green-pupiled demon ape's eyes suddenly shooting out two green pillars of light. The light pierced through the gaps of the golden giant hand and rushed towards Lei Kang and Zhuang Zijin at a high speed. Lei Kang released a burst of golden lightning, constructing a golden thunder shield in front of him to face the oncoming green light. Zhuang Zijin, on the other hand, retracted his spear and, with his true origin surging, unleashed a burst of spearlight with a slash. With a thunderous boom, the spearlight dispersed, and the green light blasted across the sky, leaving a dark hole in its wake. What a terrifying attack! This thought emerged simultaneously in Lei Kang and Zhuang Zijin's minds. However, in the next instant they both changed their expressions. All they saw was the ferocious green-pupiled demon ape, sweeping away the dust and debris with its staff, before leaping hundreds of feet away in a single bound. It then frantically tried to escape. Not good, don't let it get away. Together, the two men chased after it through the air. Ailyu! The situation is irreversible. Retreat! The flaming frenzied lion roared. Its heart bled as it watched countless demon soldiers under its command fall, wishing it could raise the Eastfield giant city and slaughter all humans. Though extremely uncomfortable, there was no other solution. Now, with the collapse of the black-pupiled demon bull and the escape of the green-pupiled demon ape, the advantage of the demon beast army had been lost. If they did not retreat promptly, the return of the two human Golden Body Realm powerhouses would lead to even heavier losses. In an instant, countless demon beasts retreated like a receding tide. We cannot let them leave so easily. Kill! Kill! For a moment, the battlefield was filled with earth-shattering shouts of slaughter as the Morrigan's forces and human martial artists pursued the fleeing enemy. Chirp! With a shake underscore of the green-scaled giant eagle's wings, countless feathers transformed into piercing light, killing oncoming soldiers and martial artists. Do not linger, retreat from all directions. The green-scaled giant eagle ordered, shaking its wings and accelerating rapidly. It turned into a green light that disappeared into the horizon. And so, countless demon beasts desperately fled while the great Morrigan soldiers and martial artists pursued them from behind. The pursuit continued all the way to 100 miles from the Eastfield giant city, where it finally halted. The catastrophe, which lasted for 2 days, eventually came to a definitive end. Lu Yun looked at the scattered corpses and red blood everywhere, strange glimmers flashing in his pupils. In such a huge war, he was just a tiny role, at most able to fight against 4th-rank demon beasts. Against slightly more powerful demon beasts, he could only run for his life. After being pursued by a breeze-gray wolf, he had narrowly escaped death. Undeniably, with his current strength, he was extremely weak on this battlefield, a place resembling a colossal millstone that ground up and devoured life. The sun rose, casting light upon the world. Lu Yun looked up at the fuzzy red sun in the sky. Golden Body Realm, it seems so close yet so far away. Fog filled the sky, dawn light was faint, and dew rolled on the leaves. The sun shone upon the pools of blood, reflecting the broken mountains and rivers in the red haze. Lu Yun walked slowly, facing the morning light and basking in the gentle breeze. Within the sea of consciousness, the blood-red lotus platform, hidden deep in his subconscious, swayed its petals madly, absorbing the gray fog in the space and spewing out chilling red mists once more. Chapter 120. The demonic tide recedes, the banquet begins. 2 Standing on the tall and majestic city wall, looking down, one's gaze slowly moved, sweeping over the ruined battlefield, and reaching the endless wasteland shrouded in fog in the distance. Lu Yun's heart gradually became silent, and the crimson in his pupils slowly faded. Next to him, Xiao Chen looked at Lu Yun, whose wounds were healing and scabbing and beginning to peel away, with starry eyes flickering with admiration. The news of Eastfield Giant City's provincial magistrate Zhuang Zijin aggressively slaying the 6th-rank demon beast, the black-pupiled demon bull, and forcing the retreat of the demon beast army quickly caused a sensation, alarming the surrounding counties and giant cities. A 6th-rank demon beast was equivalent to a human gold body realm powerhouse, especially a powerful monster like the black-pupiled demon bull. B0XO. Calm slaying it and repelling the horde of beasts was a hugely significant event. However, there was another even more significant event. That was, Zhuang Zijin had gained immense benefits from this battle and was about to advance to the Rune Seed realm. When this news came out, the entire Spirit Martial Prefecture was shaken. In Ling Province, where there were no Golden Core cultivators, Rune Seed realm cultivators were undoubtedly invincible beings. At the celebration banquet, neither Zhuang Zijin nor Lei Kang, the 2 gold body powerhouses, appeared. The one hosting the celebration banquet was an assistant general named Jiang Ming, an expert at the peak of origin fluid realm, who had stopped the green-scaled giant eagle from passing the city wall. Under an attendant's guidance, Lu Yun and Xiao Chen came hand in hand. At a glance, Lu Yun saw many well-trained soldiers and martial artists with powerful auras, their cultivation at least at the true Qi realm. They were bare-chested and drinking merrily. With the horde of beasts gone and having survived, they deserved a good celebration, so everyone let loose. Look, those 2 are Heavenly Pride Lu Yun and Xiao Chen from the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. At that moment, a series of exclamations rang out in the crowd. Lu Yun turned his head to look. He saw a burly man with a face full of flesh, looking excited and admiringly at him, and Xiao Chen. Alongside the burly man, there was also a white-haired old man with a severed arm. Lu Yun's gaze sharpened, and he instantly recognized these 2 as the burly man and severed arm elder he and Xiao Chen had saved. "Ha ha, brother Lu, you're finally here." Zhang Kuang stood up and led Lu Yun and Xiao Chen to their table. There were two other people, namely Lu Wuhan and Liang Shaoan. Upon seeing Xiao Chen, Lu Wuhan folded his fan, his eyes shooting out two sharp glints, full of fighting spirit. "Brother Xiao Chen, if there's a chance in the future, I'd like to exchange some swordsmanship with you." During the battle with the demon beasts, Xiao Chen's performance had been particularly dazzling and attracted many eyes. Especially to Lu Wuhan, a swordsmanship genius who also used a sword, Xiao Chen had drawn the most attention. "Sorry, when my sword is unsheathed, it must draw blood." At this statement, the originally friendly atmosphere instantly stiffened. Lu Wuhan opened his folding fan, fluttering it twice and laughing. "Haha, Brother Xiao is indeed a witty person." Xiao Chen's expression remained unchanged, making no response. What he had just said was the truth and his heartfelt thoughts. His sword was for demon extermination, demon slaying, and killing people. Once drawn, blood would surely flow. "Brother Lu, if there is a chance, we can have a good match to see who is faster, your sword or my knife." Zhang Kuang, who had a rough exterior but a fine heart, took over the conversation in time to dissolve Lu Yuan's embarrassment. Regarding this, Lu Yun only smiled slightly without explaining on behalf of Xiao Chen. He knew Xiao Chen didn't need it. In fact, whether it was Lu Wuhan, Zhang Kuang, or Liang Shaoan, for both of them, they were just passers-by during their short stay in Eastfield Giant City. Even though they had once fought side by side, in the not-too-distant future, this would be just a small part of their memories, insignificant. At the midway point of the banquet, Jiang Ming stood up, smiling and looking at everyone. Everyone, in celebration of Eastfield Giant City repelling the onslaught once again, we will now present a special dish for you all to enjoy. Please take your time and savor it, he said. After that, he clapped his hands 3 times, and a group of attendants served the dishes in an orderly manner. Each table had a plate of spiritual fruit, a pot of spiritual wine, and 5 plates of meat. As soon as they were placed, the fragrance of the spiritual wine spread throughout. However, even more attractive to everyone was the plate of meat in the middle. Just by smelling it, people felt their pores opening up and their whole body relaxing. "Everyone, let's start." As Jiang Ming's voice fell, the restless crowd couldn't wait to begin. Zhang Kuang laughed. "We each remove a lid to see what treasures lie beneath." "Sure." Lu Yun and the other 4 each lifted a lid from the plates of meat. What Lu Yun opened was a glittering, golden pig's head. "Wow, isn't this the 4th-rank monohorn wild boar I killed?" Lu Yun was surprised. He turned his gaze to the other plates the others had opened. The plate that Xiao Chen opened contained a braised bear paw that had also been cut from a 4th-rank demon beast. The plate Lu Wuhan opened contained half of a grilled, red lion's head, which had also been a 4th-rank demon beast. And the plate belonging to Liang Shaoan was 1 paw from a 5th-rank demon wolf. What made everyone's eyes red with envy was the plate that Zhang Kuang lifted the lid from, revealing a chunk of bright red meat weighing more than 10 pounds. As soon as it was opened, the rich fragrant scent emitted from it overwhelmed the other 4 plates of meat. What kind of demon beast meat was this? People looked at one another, trying to find the answer in each other's eyes. After a moment of silence, Zhang Kuang slowly said, "Judging by the texture of the meat, it looks a bit like beef, but it's different. This kind of meat is dozens of times better than any beef I've seen before." Chapter 121. The demon tide recedes, the banquet begins. 3 At this point, Zhang Kuang seemed to have thought of something. His pupils contracted in an instant, and he exclaimed in surprise, "Oh my, it can't be from that level 6 black-pupiled demon bull, can it? One can't resist it anymore." He reached for his chopsticks, preparing to attack the food eagerly. However, when his gaze fell on the plate, he was immediately taken aback. B0XO. Originally there were around 17 or 18 pounds of beef, but only a small piece was left, looking no more than just 2 pounds or so. "Don't move, the rest is mine." Zhang Kuang roared fiercely, grabbing the entire plate and shielding it in front of him, looking like anyone who dared touch it would become his enemy. This was meat from the black-pupiled demon bull, the flesh of a level 6 demon beast, not ordinary beef. Thinking about this, Zhang Kuang felt an overwhelming sense of frustration. However, Lu Yun and the others were sitting there, bellies full, burping and exuding spiritual energy, appearing completely indifferent. "Beasts, you're all beasts!" Zhang Kuang roared internally, but he didn't let that slow his action. He seized his chopsticks and started eating. In just a few moments, the remaining small piece of beef was quickly gobbled up by him. Such scrumptious treasure! Zhang Kuang licked his lips, his expression one of satisfaction. At this moment, every pore of his body was opened, radiating minuscule rays of light. Watching as Lu Yun and the others continued to keep their bellies full, burping without a care, Zhang Kuang suddenly didn't feel as satisfied anymore. Picking up his chopsticks again, he zeroed in on the plate piled high with the level 5 demon beast's meat. In no time, he managed to eat a third of it all by himself. Eventually, he had to stop, unable to eat any more. Reclining on the chair, he was very content, listening to the deafening roar of the spiritual energy rushing within his body. He was certain that if he continued like this every day, it wouldn't take long until his 9th round of true qi refinement was completed. Burp, burp, burp. At this point, he let out several satisfied belches, stretched lazily, and finally felt somewhat relieved. The group shared a knowing glance and smiled as one. Lu Yun used the period of satiety after the meal to open his status panel. Name: Lu Yun. Affiliation: Flying Spirit Martial Academy Martial Arts. 7 Kill Saber Technique, Reach Profound, Non-Upgradable. Black Tiger Saber Technique, Perfection, Non-Upgradable. Eastern Wind Break, Entry Level 1%, Fusionable. Flowing Wine Sky Dance, 100 Flowers, Perfection 15%, Fusionable. Gale Thunder Flash Step, Great Accomplishment 77%. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, True Qi Chapter, Small Achievement 19%. Innate Talent, Level 6, Martial Realm. True Qi Realm, 3rd Refinement. Energy, 2, automatically increase by 1 every 2 days. Conception, Slaughter Conception, 1st rank 27% as expected. Even the meat of a level 6 demon beast could not provide him with any energy value. However, the training progress of the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon's True Qi chapter has improved, which surprised Lu Yun. It appears that consuming the meat of high-ranking demon beasts not only benefits the enhancement of the physical body, but also aids in the improvement of cultivation, Lu Yun thought to himself, then cast his gaze on several spiritual fruits. These spiritual fruits and herbs are equivalent to spirit herbs and should be able to be converted into energy values. Just as this thought came to him, Lu Yun immediately started running the pure yang aura within him, refining and compressing the remaining energy into his flesh. The feeling of fullness began to wane slightly. He casually picked up a spiritual fruit and swallowed it in a couple of bites, keeping an eye on his status panel. Energy value plus 10. Seeing the information appear on the panel, Lu Yun was instantly elated. Without any hesitation, he grabbed 2 spiritual fruits and stuffed them into his mouth. Energy value plus 10, energy value plus 10. Before long, the 12 spiritual fruits on the plate were all eaten by Lu Yun by himself. They're just a few spiritual fruits, was there a need to eat them so quickly? Zhang Kuang looked at Lu Yun disdainfully, then began to slowly digest the remaining energy in his body. At the same time, his eyes were fixed on the remaining plates of meat. Although they were not up to par with a level 6 demon beast's meat, they were still meat from level 4 and level 5 demon beasts, which could aid in the enhancement of the physical body and increase cultivation progress. About an hour later, everyone had mostly finished digesting and started eating again. It was clear that the meat of level 4 and level 5 demon beasts paled in comparison to that of a level 6 demon beast. Even after finishing all the meat, they didn't feel as stuffed as before. Ah, this meal alone was worth a month's worth of cultivation effort. Zhang Kuang sighed with satisfaction, while pouring wine for Lu Yun and the others. Gentlemen, let's drink. Finishing his sentence, he downed a cup and let out a satisfied exclamation. Just as the banquet was about to end, Wang Yuhao walked towards Lu Yun and the others, accompanied by Bufan. Wang Yuhao chuckled and said, "Junior brother Lu, junior brother Xiao, this battle was a hard-fought victory, and Eastfield City needs time to recover. Therefore, the recruitment exam for the Flying Spirit Martial Academy will be set for a fortnight from now. Is that all right with you both?" "No problem." Lu Yun agreed without giving it much thought. Wang Yuhao was right, Eastfield City needed some time to stabilize. Similarly, the recruitment examination of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy also needed some time for publicity to attract more talent. "Senior brother Wang, would be grateful if you could announce the news of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy's recruitment," Lu Yun requested. "No problem." Wang Yuhao readily agreed. Chapter 122. Getting rich after the victory feast, Wang Yuhao ordered Bufan to rearrange the accommodations for Lu Yun and Xiao Chun, treating them as VIPs. Moreover, announcements were posted throughout the city, including details about the recruitment of disciples for the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, such as the time, location, and rules. Also, in the form of a booklet, it was sent to all the towns and mountain villages within the jurisdiction of Eastfield County. Within a few days, the news of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy's disciple recruitment had spread throughout Eastfield County, causing a great stir. The Flying Spirit Martial Academy was seen as a sacred place for martial arts training by the martial artists and commoners of the Spirit Martial Prefecture. Everyone aspired to go there. B0XO. Unfortunately, such a sacred place held recruitment examinations once every 5 years in the border counties, and there were age and innate talent limitations, so most people had no chance to enter, so they had to choose to join the army or other paths. Now, with the once in 5 years examination starting, it inevitably stirred the hearts of everyone. I absolutely cannot let you follow my footsteps and be stuck in the true Qi realm for the rest of your life, unable to see the path ahead. No matter what, I will help you enter the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. On the way to Eastfield City, a bearded martial artist gazed at the rising sun on the horizon with hope in his eyes. Behind him followed a young boy. The young boy had bright eyes and a determined expression. His legs were each tied with a heavy sandbag, and his back was carrying a heavy bundle. Every step he took left a deep imprint on the road. Woodstone Village, a poor and backward village, was located deep in the mountains. It had always been self-sufficient and had little contact with the outside world. But today, everyone gathered at the entrance of the village to see off a young boy dressed in animal skin. "Little Gu Yuan, be careful on the journey, don't meddle in other people's affairs, and don't overexert yourself. The most important thing is to protect yourself." The villagers urged him with heartfelt affection for the child, who had grown up eating from different families. "My child, don't force yourself. If you can't enter the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, you must come back. Woodstone Village will always be your home." An old man, leaning on a cane, said in an ancient voice, "Village Chief Grandpa, it's the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, not the Spirit Flying Martial Academy." The young boy, Gu Yuan, dressed in animal skin, corrected him. "Oh, so it's the Spirit Flying Martial Academy. I guess I'm really old now. Back in my day, Village Chief Grandpa, uncles and aunties, I'm leaving." Gu Yuan waved his hand and quickly left, his figure slowly disappearing from everyone's view. "This damned kid, he runs really fast." The old man shook his head helplessly, his vicissitudes-filled eyes momentarily shining, then sighing deeply. Those who wanted to leave could not be stopped. Only after going out to experience difficulties and setbacks would they remember the good of their small village. In Eastfield City, once a white-haired old man who had lost an arm in a battle with demon beasts outside the city. He now looked at the two teenagers in front of him and said solemnly, "You two were born in Eastfield and have been protected by the Eastfield Army. Originally, I wanted to wait for a few more years before allowing you to join the Eastfield Army and continue to garrison the Eastfield giant city. However, after the last battle, I have a new understanding. To better protect the people of Eastfield County and guard the Eastfield giant city, we need extraordinary martial strength. If our strength is too weak, we can't even protect ourselves. You two, go take the examination for the Flying Spirit Martial Academy." At the same time, the muscular man whom Lu Yun and Xiao Chun had saved outside the city also instructed his own child, "If you can't pass the examination and become a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, you're not my seed. You're on your own." Time flowed like water, passing in a blink of an eye. Half a month later. Eastfield Giant City. The sun had risen, and the morning light squeezed through the gaps in the windows, leaving a white trace on the ground. Lu Yun finished his daily morning routine and opened his panel with a thought. Name: Lu Yun Power, Flying Spirit Martial Academy Martial Arts, 7 Kill Saber Technique, Reach Profound, not upgradable, Black Tiger Saber Technique, Perfection, not upgradable, Eastern Wind Break, Entry Level 1%, Mergeable, Flowing Wine Sky Dance, 100 Flowers, Perfection 25%, Mergeable, Gale Thunder Flash Step, Great Accomplishment 90%. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, True Chi Chapter, Small Achievement 49%. Innate Talent, Level 6 Martial Arts, True Chi Realm, 4 Refinements, Energy Value, 2 automatically increases by 1 every 2 days, Conception, Slaughter Conception, first rank 27%. Compared to half a month ago, Lu Yun's strength had improved considerably, especially his pure yang aggressive aura, which had undergone 4 refinements and was now even more powerful. A smile flickered across his lips as he stood up. As he opened the door, he saw Xiao Qin standing outside with his hands clasping his sword. "Good morning." Lu Yun greeted him with a smile. Xiao Qin nodded slightly, then moved, leaving an afterimage in place. With a whoosh, Lu Yun turned into a ray of golden light and quickly followed. Orchid Square, located east of the Eastfield giant city, covered a vast area, with a distance of 300 feet in both length and width, and had always been one of the conscription venues. Today, however, it was not the time for conscription, yet many people had gathered. Among them, the number of young boys and girls was the largest, amounting to about 10,000. Most of the other onlookers were martial artists, with quite a few in the True Chi realm. Such a border fortress city was unlike Cloudwater County, which lacked powerful martial artists. There were soldiers maintaining order outside the venue, and the captain in charge of maintaining order was Bufan. Chapter 123. Getting Rich _2 Wearing black armor, he emanated cold metallic luster all over. Combining his fierce aura with his imposing demeanor, the man stood there, creating a dominant presence that deterred others from approaching. When the gong sounded, Bufan coldly said, "Participants who have signed up for the Martial Academy examination should enter. Anyone uninvolved who tries to enter without permission will be killed on the spot." Upon hearing this, the soldiers in armor and wielding spears moved in an orderly manner to clear a path. Immediately, a sea of humanity surged into Orchid Square like a tide. At this moment, there was a high platform in the center of Orchid Square. B0XO. Calm underneath the platform, there were 5 tables, each with a black crystal ball that emitted a mysterious, dark glow, evoking an indescribable sense of mystery. This was the Reach Profound crystal designed specifically for testing bone age and innate talent. Xiao Chun had received it during quest assignment. There were 2 people seated at each table. 3 people sat on the platform. The one wearing battle armor was awe-inspiring. The other 2 were young and extraordinarily talented, exuding an ethereal temperament. A group of young men and women silently looked up at the two young men sitting above, filled with admiration and respect in their eyes. Over the past half a month, news of Zhuang Zijin killing a 6th-ranked demon beast and aiming to break through a realm, as well as Lu Yun and Xiao Chen, both considered heavenly prides, killing 4th-ranked demon beasts while in the True Qi realm, had spread throughout Eastfield County. There are so many people? Looking at the tens of thousands of examinees below, Lu Yun was somewhat surprised. He knew that only over 1,000 people had participated in the examination at Cloudwater County. Wang Yuhao chuckled. The battle half a month ago has made you and junior brother Xiao famous. Almost everyone in Eastfield County knows about your achievements. The younger generation aspires to join the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. When they heard about the examination, they flocked here. Of course, to save time, one asked Officer Bu to select eligible examinees 3 days in advance and eliminate the majority. The exam takers down there, at the very least, have cultivated their martial arts to the great accomplishment realm. Thank you, senior brother. Lu Yun clasped his hands. Haha, no need for courtesy, junior brother Lu. Wang Yuhao waved his hand with a smile. Afterward, Lu Yun stood up and gazed at the stage filled with energetic young men and women. With a focused look, he exuded an experienced and stern image. I believe you all know the rules of the Martial Academy examination before coming here, so one won't go into detail. Let's get straight to the point. Lu Yun's voice, mixed with aggressive aura, spread quickly, echoing throughout the square. Under the influence of this powerful voice, many of the young men and women quieted their conversations and listened attentively to what Lu Yun had to say. The first examination item: verification of bone age and identity. Divide yourselves into 5 groups and proceed to the examination in an orderly manner. After he finished speaking, Lu Yun sat back down, watching the many young people with nervous or eager expressions. 1 year ago, he was one of them, as curious about the Reach Profound crystal as these young people, and just as eager for the unknown examination results. He had also witnessed others get eliminated due to their age and experienced Meridian's zero-tolerance policy towards evil cult spies firsthand. Now, given the change in his identity, he wondered how many of these many people were suspicious, how many were level 5 innate talent, and whether there would be a level 6 innate talent or not. By now, Lu Yun had fully understood the purpose of the Reach Profound crystal. One purpose was to test the actual bone age, and the second was to identify spies of the evil cult. The Reach Profound crystal was crafted by the Quartz artifact refiner, who infused a sliver of humanity's fate into it. Morijin unified witchcraft demon beasts, developed 3 provinces, and spread martial arts throughout the world, gathering humanity's fate. Once a member of the evil cults and demon sects, they would be tainted with the sect's fate, which contradicted the human fate of Morijin. This was the principle of the Reach Profound crystal in order to eliminate the evil cult's spies. After about 2 hours, the test concluded, with results beyond Lu Yun's expectation. Only a small portion of the people had their Reach Profound crystal blinking white due to their age surpassing the limit, and not a single star pattern appeared. There wasn't a single instance of the Reach Profound crystal flashing red, indicating none among the many people were spies of the evil cult. This result surprised Lu Yun. Could it be that evil cults like the White Lotus sect are afraid of the stationed army here and dare not invade Eastfield County? He thought to himself. For the second examination item, it was Xiao Chen's turn to preside over it. There were also 5 innate talent stones. After placing each of them on the tables, Xiao Chen looked at the crowd with cold eyes. The next item is the innate talent test. Those with innate talent lower than level 2 or lacking innate talent will be eliminated. If you show innate talent above level 5, you can skip the 3rd examination and directly become a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. In addition, there will be rewards after joining the sect. Alright, let the innate talent test begin. On the high platform, Lu Yun looked at the dense crowd below, his eyes filled with curiosity and anticipation. With so many people, I hope there will be a few more level 5 innate talent. It'd be even better if 1 or 2 have level 6 innate talent. That way I can significantly improve my strength. Fixated on the crowd being tested below, Lu Yun seemed calm, but inside, his anticipation ran even higher than the young examinees. Chapter 124. Getting Rich _3 Yen Lei 3-star normal innate talent. Fang Tian 2-star peak innate talent. Jiang Yingyu 1-star innate talent. Yun Bufan 4-star normal innate talent. Lin Yang no innate talent. B0XO. Calm 5 voices rang out almost simultaneously from different directions. Just started and there is already a good sign. It seems like the final results won't be too bad. Lu Yun's gaze fell on Yun Bufan, whose innate talent was 4-star normal, and a hint of a barely noticeable smile appeared on his face. Junior brother Lu, what do you think of these youngsters? At this moment, Wang Yuhao, who was beside him, suddenly smiled and asked. They are the future forces of the martial academy and the backbone of our resistance against the demon beasts. Lu Yun casually responded, his attention once again returning to the youngsters who were testing their innate talent. Seeing Lu Yun's absent-minded appearance, Wang Yuhao couldn't help but guess a few things, and the smile on his face grew even more. Junior brother Lu, are you in dire need of contribution points or, to be more precise, cultivation resources? Lu Yun replied without hesitation, of course 1 am, and am in great need. Haha, since junior brother Lu is so in need, 111 be happy to recommend you a good place. Lu Yun's eyes flashed as he asked, where? Monster Extermination Army. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun's eyes narrowed. In addition to the provincial magistrates guarding the borders and the ordinary army suppressing the 13 provinces, the Morrigan Empire had 2 more special armies. These 2 armies were the Demon Suppression Army and the Monster Extermination Army. The Demon Suppression Army was responsible for dealing with sects that had been expelled from the Morrigan Empire. More than 800 years ago, there were conflicts between aristocratic families and various sects in the 9 provinces. After the founding of the Morrigan Empire, all sects were expelled from the 9 provinces and established their schools in the depths of the wilderness. After hundreds of years of development, they gradually grew in strength. To prevent these sects from growing and counterattacking the 9 provinces, the Demon Suppression Army was established to sweep and suppress the power of the sections. As for the Monster Extermination Army, it was another special army, even larger and more powerful than the Demon Suppression Army. The duty of the Monster Extermination Army was to continue driving out demon beasts and expanding the wilderness. To tell you the truth, after General Zhuang breaks through to the Rune Seed Realm, he will be transferred to the Monster Extermination Army to take up an important position, and one will also follow General Zhuang to the wilderness to expand the territory. If junior brother Lu is willing, you can join us and one can guarantee you a position as a commander. Senior brother Wang, you must be joking. I am only in the true Qi realm. How am I qualified to hold the position of commander? A deep and mysterious smile appeared on Wang Yuhao's face as he said, a heavenly pride who can comprehend conceptions in the true Qi realm is indeed qualified to be a commander, especially since junior brother Lu has comprehended the slaughter conception, an existence born for war. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun's eyes slightly narrowed. Haha, senior brother Wang, you have discerning eyes, but one have no plans to join the Monster Extermination Army for the time being. Wang Yuhao did not get discouraged but continued, Junior brother Lu, do you know how much reward you can get for killing a 3rd-rank demon beast in the Monster Extermination Army, or how much for killing a 4th-rank demon beast? Lu Yun shook his head. Wang Yuhao continued, nearly 1/3 of the resources in the Morrigan Empire are invested in the Monster Extermination Army. pills, spirit crystals, cultivation techniques, weapons, armor, etc., are all given priority. In the future, you can not only make meritorious deeds but also become kings and nobles. Lu Yun remained unmoved. As he was now, dealing with a single fourth-rank demon beast was already difficult enough. If he were to join the monster extermination army, he would face not just one such beast, but dozens, even hundreds of them, as well as fifth-rank, sixth-rank, and even higher-ranked demon beasts. When he thought back to the frightening green-scaled giant eagle, breeze grey wolf, and other fifth-rank demon beasts from half a month ago, he still felt a lingering fear. The terrifying black-pupiled demon bull and green-pupiled demon ape made his heart tremble even more. Therefore, he would not join the monster extermination army until he had grown stronger. Seeing Lu Yun's demeanor, Wang Yuhao knew the outcome and couldn't help but sigh lightly. It was disappointing that he couldn't persuade such a genius who had comprehended the slaughter conception at such a young age and with such cultivation, especially since Lu Yun had once saved his life. Lu Yun didn't directly refuse but tactfully said, "Senior brother, if I achieve success in martial arts in the future, I will definitely join the monster extermination army under your command." "Alright, just having junior brother's promise is enough." Wang Yuhao heavily patted Lu Yun's shoulder. Bailey E, 5-star peak innate talent. Suddenly, a high-spirited voice rang out, instantly attracting Lu Yun's attention. This was a youth in black clothing, with bright eyes. Facing the envious, jealous, and other complicated gazes, he always maintained a calm demeanor, neither arrogant nor impatient, just looking back at the bustling crowd outside the square. In the bustling crowd, a martial artist with a full face of beard had tears in his eyes. Bailey E. Among the group of youngsters, Gu Yuan, who was dressed in a tiger skin beast robe, was quite eye-catching, and various unusual gazes fell on him. However, he didn't pay any attention to the gazes of others, just staring at Bailey E for a while. Seeing the reactions of these people, it seems that a 5-star peak innate talent is quite amazing. I wonder what my innate talent is? Gu Yuan pondered. Soon, it was his turn to test. Coming to the table, Gu Yuan curiously looked at the human head-sized, semi-transparent innate talent stone in front of him. Following the actions of the others earlier, he stretched out his right hand and slowly pressed it against the innate talent stone. The moment his palm touched the stone, a dazzling blue light burst forth, and the light gradually intensified, illuminating the entire square. Chapter 125. Getting Rich _4. Just as everyone was attracted by the dazzling light, a crack suddenly appeared on the originally radiant innate talent stone and rapidly expanded. Crack! Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the innate talent stone instantly shattered, scattering on the ground. This sudden turn of events left the entire square in a brief moment of silence. After the silence, there was an uproar. B0XO. Calm, what's going on? The innate talent stone exploded? Could this innate talent stone be a fake? Meanwhile, some people were suspicious, especially those whose innate talent was tested poorly by this stone, and they protested and demanded retesting. However, after being coldly glanced at by Xiao Chen, they immediately stopped. On the platform, Lu Yun and Wang Yuhao both gasped. They knew the origin of this innate talent stone. Innate talent stones could only test up to level 6 innate talent. Levels 1 to 6 innate talent would respectively flash white, yellow, red, green, blue, and purple. Just when the tiger-striped veterinarian touched the innate talent stone, it burst into a dazzling blue light that grew deeper and brighter, illuminating the entire square. In the end, the innate talent stone shattered as it exceeded its limit. What did this mean? It meant that the tiger-striped veterinarian's innate talent had exceeded the limit of the innate talent stone. Thinking of this, Lu Yun's originally composed face finally changed. Taking a deep breath, he immediately burst into laughter without any hesitation. Ha ha, we've struck it rich, we've struck it rich. Ha ha, congratulations to both junior brothers. You two will definitely receive a handsome reward this time. Wang Yuhao was once a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and naturally knew that if they recruited a genius disciple, Lu Yun and Xiao Chen, the two responsible, would receive a generous contribution point. At this moment, Gu Yuan was still a bit confused. He was from Woodstone Village and had always had a vague understanding of innate talent. Now, having destroyed the innate talent stone, he felt even more unsure. Just then, a golden thunderbolt appeared in the sky. With a boom, the ground exploded, and the golden thunderbolt danced like a snake as Lei Kang emerged from the golden light. He looked at Gu Yuan with a gentle expression in his eyes and softly asked, "Little guy, what's your name?" Facing the domineering appearance of Lei Kang, even Gu Yuan, with his good nature, was a bit nervous and bashful. He stuttered, "My surname is Gu, and my name is Yuan." "Gu Yuan?" Lei Kang repeated softly, then laughed. "Not bad, not bad. Such an overbearing name suits your talent. Alright, you don't need to participate in the next test. Follow me." Gu Yuan nervously and apologetically replied, "Senior, I'm sorry, if I pass the test, I will be a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and cannot go with you." "Ha ha ha, you little guy, ask your senior brother Xiao if you can follow me." Xiao Chen looked at Gu Yuan with interest, then smiled and said, "This is Elder Lei Kang, a Golden Body Realm powerhouse from our academy." Hearing this, Gu Yuan's face changed, and he felt somewhat speechless in his heart. Couldn't he just introduce himself directly? "Ha ha, little guy, let's go." Lei Kang chuckled softly, waved his sleeve, and swept Gu Yuan into the sky. It wasn't until Lei Kang and Gu Yuan had completely disappeared that the other youths reacted, their eyes filled with envy. By now, even the slowest among them understood what had happened. Firstly, it was not that the innate talent stone had a problem, but that Gu Yuan's innate talent exceeded the limit it could handle. Secondly, from now on, Gu Yuan would be an untouchable heavenly pride in their eyes. In the military camp, Zhuang Zijin, wearing battle armor and surrounded by rune, looked at the empty spot beside him that still held warmth, and his eyes were filled with contempt. "Is it that urgent?" Immediately, the rune flashed with a golden light, merging into his body. Chapter 126. Aerial Ambush, requesting monthly tickets. Lu Yun's eyes slightly lifted, looking across the sky, his gaze piercing through the layers of cloud. In the sky, a gigantic shadow resembling a huge rock could faintly be seen. "Is it always staying here?" Lu Yun muttered softly. That was the number 5 mysterious ship, parked in midair above Orchid Square at the moment. As soon as the 3 tests were completed, the ship would descend to carry the disciples who passed the tests back to the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. B0XO. Calm time slowly passed, and after about 6 hours, the innate talent test was finally completed. If not for Gu Yuan shattering another innate talent stone, it wouldn't have taken so long. Apart from Bailey E., there were 7 other lucky youngsters who tested to have level 5 innate talent. 5 of them were boys and 2 were girls. Among them, 2 had top-tier level 5 innate talent, while the rest had ordinary level 5 innate talent. However, no one had level 6 innate talent. But such results were already far beyond Lu Yun's expectations. Even if Gu Yuan's shattering of the innate talent stone was ignored, Bailey E. and the 8 level 5 innate talent youngsters would earn Lu Yun and Xiao Chen an extra 3,000 contribution points, plus the 3,000 points from completing the basic task, totaling 6,000 points. After returning to the Martial Academy and handing over the task, each of Lu Yun and Xiao Chen would gain at least 3,000 contribution points. After the innate talent test, there were only a little over 2,000 people left out of the original more than 10,000. Looking at the many boys and girls with hopeful and longing gazes, Lu Yun felt a mixture of emotions in his heart. Even though it was a once-in-5 years quota, Flying Spirit Martial Academy only gave Eastfield County very few spots, a total of 360. Apart from Gu Yuan and Bai Li Yi, and the other 6 level 5 innate talent geniuses. The rest were battling for 351 spots. This competition was far more intense than Cloud Water County's. With a light sigh, Lu Yun said to Xiao Chen, "You should preside over the third test." "All right." Xiao Chen agreed and flew down from the high platform. His sharp and profound eyes scanned the crowd and said, "The next test is the strength test, which is the final one. Except for Bailey E. and the other 7 top-tier level 5 innate talent individuals, everyone else must participate. After the test, the top 351 results will be selected irrespective of their innate talent." "All right, let's start the test now." As Xiao Chen spoke, 5 squads of soldiers had already set up 5 measuring strength pillars. As before, they were divided into 5 lines, with about 400 people in each line. One by one, the youngsters eagerly stepped forward to take the test. After 2 hours, the test was over. Although the selection was irrespective of innate talent, most of the top 351 were those with level 3 and level 4 innate talent. Only 3 of them had level 2 innate talent. Moreover, these 3 level 2 innate talent individuals were all older with higher cultivation, which contributed to their result. Not long after the test ended, a large black shadow engulfed the sky above Orchid Square. Boom! Under the shocked gazes of the people, the mysterious ship, resembling a giant rock, slowly descended and finally stopped in the air about 5 or 6 feet above the ground. "Junior brothers, follow me onto the mysterious ship." As the words fell, Xiao Chen's figure moved, appearing on the ship. "Haha, one never thought I'd have the chance to ride a mysterious ship, which even my father haven't had before." A sturdy young man laughed, then sprinted and leaped onto the ship. The others also followed suit, using the inertia of their sprint to jump onto the ship. "Senior brother Wang, till we meet again." Lu Yun bowed and then, like a soaring rock, gracefully landed on the ship. "Junior brother Lu, I'll be waiting for you in the monster extermination army." Wang Yuhao's deep voice resounded from afar. Boom! Amidst the powerful storm, the number 5 mysterious ship slowly ascended, breaking through the clouds and disappearing into the sky above Eastfield Giant City. Lu Yun's gaze landed on Bailey E. and the other 8 youngsters with level 5 innate talent. A faint smile appeared on his lip. To him, these youngsters were just a bunch of spiritual fruits that would soon be converted into a significant amount of contribution points, all of which he would exchange for pills, transforming them into energy to increase his power. A little girl in a flower-strewn pleated skirt unintentionally caught Lu Yun's malicious gaze and immediately hid behind another girl, dressed in a smoke-cloud butterfly dress, timidly saying, "Sister, I feel that senior brother Lu's gaze on us is strange, a bit like the way the big bad wolf in Grandma's stories looks at little sheep." Chen Yaowei gently said, "Menghan, you must be mistaken, senior brother Lu and junior brother Xiao are both very good people." "Sister, I'm not lying to you, one really felt it earlier," Chen Menghan said weakly. Hearing this, Chen Yaowei frowned and thought hard for a while before teasing in a low voice, could it be that senior brother Lu really fancies you, the little sheep?" I'm not talking to you anymore, sister." Chen Menghan turned away with blushing cheeks. Half an hour later, the mysterious ship stopped at Jade Light County. Whoosh! Whoosh! 2 figures swiftly landed on the ship. "Haha, junior brother Xiao, junior brother Lu, you're finally here. We've been waiting for half a month." Zhang Zhihe rushed towards Lu Yun and Xiao Chen, while the other person was arranging the disciples who had passed the test to board the ship. Seeing senior brother Zhang's beaming face, "I suppose you found quite a few level 5 innate talent individuals?" Lu Yun smiled and asked tentatively. Chapter 127, Aerial Ambush, Requesting Monthly Tickets, _2, Not bad, not bad. Zhang Zhihe modestly said, and after the new disciples from Jade Light County boarded the black boat, he called out 5 young boys and girls and instructed them. "These 2 are your senior brothers Lu Yun and Xiao Chen. They entered the martial academy just 1 year earlier than you, but they have already reached the true Qi realm, and are considered top heavenly prides in the academy. You should get to know them quickly. As he spoke, a smug look appeared in Zhang Zai's eyes. Being able to recruit 5 disciples with level 5 innate talent in Jade Light County at once was far beyond his expectations. Of course, he was feeling very satisfied. B0XO. Calm greetings to senior brothers Lu and Xiao. These 5 new disciples looked cautiously at Lu Yun and Xiao Chen, their hearts shocked. These two were only entry-level for a year, which meant they were about the same age as them, or even slightly younger. But their strength and status were almost on par with their examiners. This was indeed unbelievable to them. Xiao Chen simply nodded at them and closed his eyes again, unchangingly calm and indifferent as always. Lu Yun's gaze withdrew from them and laughed. Senior brother Zhang, you are really a lucky guy, I am so envious. It's just okay. Zhang Zai's gaze fell on Bailey E and over 300 others, asking, Junior brother, how many good talents did you find this time? Just average, only 7 or 8. Lu Yun said casually. It's okay, junior brother. Your first task is… Wait, Zhang Zai's eyes widened in shock. Then he gestured with both hands, saying, 7 or 8? Yes, just 7 or 8. Hearing this, Zhang Zhihe suddenly went silent, then slowly walked away, his figure appearing somewhat fallen. Seeing this, Lu Yun couldn't help but complain inwardly. Is it necessary to be like this? I haven't even revealed all my cards yet. The black boat slowly rose into the air, pushing the clouds aside, and continued to fly. The wind was strong and fierce in the high altitude, but there was no breeze at all on the black boat, which was very calm under the protection of an energy shield. However, some people's hearts were not calm. Another hour passed, and the black boat stopped again and slowly descended. There were still more than 300 people boarding the black boat here. The Flying Spirit Martial Academy allocated 360 spots for these regions, which were recruited every 5 years. Seeing one of the people, Lu Yun's gaze sunk. Li Yilin. With a brief glance, Lu Yun withdrew his gaze. Looking at some people he didn't like for too long was a torture for himself. After arranging the new disciples, Li Yilin glanced in the direction of Lu Yun and the others, his gaze lingering on Xiao Chen the longest. However, Xiao Chen seemed not to notice the other party's gaze and remained seated on the ground with his eyes closed. Pretending. Li Yilin sneered and looked away. Upon seeing Zhang Zhihe standing in a corner and remaining silent, he suddenly came up with an idea. With a bright smile on his face, he strode towards Zhang Zhihe and loudly said, Hey, senior brother, did you get lucky this time and receive any good talents? Giving Li Yilin a cold glance, Zhang Zhihe replied unhappily, Not many, just 5. 5? That's quite a coincidence. I also just received 5 level 5 innate talent disciples, 2 of whom even have top level 5 innate talent. Li Yilin deliberately raised his voice while continually glancing at Xiao Chen. Disappointing him, Xiao Chen remained unmoved, so he changed his target, looking at Lu Yun instead. Of course, the result was nearly the same. Congratulations, junior brotherly, you are quite lucky. Zhang Zhihe managed to respond, then continued to remain silent. He didn't feel like talking now, and he didn't want to bring up the issue of good talents anymore. Every time he mentioned it, it made him very depressed. Recalling his earlier modesty in front of Lu Yun, he felt his face turning red. It's just too embarrassing. 10 minutes later, the black boat ascended again and continued its journey. Each time the number 5 mysterious ship traveled for half an hour, it would make a stop. Every time the disciples of the Star Palace who boarded the black boats thought they were lucky, they would show off to others. Those who were unsatisfied with their journey would ask about others' gains. In the end, there was always a sigh and exclamation. After stopping 9 times in a row, the night completely falls, and the black boat speeds towards the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. The closer it gets to the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, the stronger the sense of urgency that builds in Lu Yun's heart. He can't wait to earn contribution points and convert them into energy points to improve himself. The battle under Eastfield Giant City made him understand that he was still weak, so weak that a level 5 demon beast could easily take his life. If he faced a 6th rank demon beast, he would not have a chance to resist. The Golden Body Realm allows one to walk in the air and fight in the sky. A 6th rank demon beast can easily kill an assistant general in the Origin Fluid Realm. All these deeply stimulate Lu Yun. I must grow strong and powerful as quickly as possible, Lu Yun whispers to himself. Looking at the dark and empty sky, Lu Yun's anxiety gradually subsides. Getting stronger quickly is necessary, but he still needs to maintain a low-key development and a steady pace. At this moment, Lu Yun feels the rapidly flying black boat suddenly shake, as if seized by a powerful force, and it begins to tremble. The other people are also frightened by this sudden change, casting their gazes into the dark night, trying to see what caused it, but in the end they see nothing. And the speed of the black boat gradually slows down, eventually stopping in midair. Sister, there won't be any trouble, right? Chen Menghan grips Chen Yaoi's sleeve, her expression showing panic. Don't be afraid. With our senior brothers here, there won't be any trouble, Chen Yaoi pretends to reassure them calmly, but her trembling body betrays her. Feeling the sudden change, Xiao Chen's eyes snap open, and when he sees the frightened people on the black boat, his sword-like eyebrows furrow slightly. Lu Yun's voice quietly emerges, we may be in big trouble. I just hope our opponents aren't too strong for even someone in the Golden Body Realm to handle. Hearing this, Xiao Chen's eyebrows furrow even more deeply, and his right hand grips tightly on the hilt of his sword. Suddenly, a cold and sinister voice comes from far away and grows nearer. Soon, this strange laughter echoes continuously in everyone's ears, making some of the more timid people shudder with fear. Little guys, you won't be able to reach the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. The White Lotus sect will be your home, the booming voice echoes, like thunderclaps rumbling in their ears. White Lotus sect? Lu Yun and Xiao Chen exchange glances, seeing the shock in each other's eyes. When did the White Lotus sect dare to appear so boldly within the territory of Spirit Martial Prefecture, intercepting the black boat of Flying Spirit Martial Academy? Wasn't this a sign of utter boldness? However, it also proves from another aspect that the visitors are not simple. Daring to intercept the black boat is enough to show the terrifying strength of the visitors. At least a master in the Golden Body Realm. And this is definitely a well-prepared ambush. Otherwise, how could they stop the rapidly flying black boat in midair? Upon realizing this, Lu Yun's expression becomes even more serious. Why would they spend so much effort and take such a big risk, dispatching a powerful master of the Golden Body Realm at the very least? Could it be for me? Lu Yun can't help but wonder. But he quickly dismisses the thought. While his performance is currently impressive, it's still within tolerance, and not worth the risk for a Golden Body Realm expert. If not me, then who? At that moment, a youth wearing tiger skin and beast clothes suddenly appears in his mind. Gu Yuan. The visitors must have come for Gu Yuan. Almost instantly, Lu Yun can be sure that the opponents must be targeting Gu Yuan. Sizzle. With a violent tremor, a crack suddenly appears in the energy shield around the black boat. Chapter 128. Another Xiao Chen high up in the sky, the black boat seemed to be sealed off by some terrifying power, standing still in the void. On the black boat, numerous new disciples were trembling, huddling together. The dark and distant void was studded with stars, and the moonlight was dimly visible, calm as water, with only a faint voice drifting through. The voice was sometimes gloomy, sometimes cold, and sometimes desolate, like a ghost or an evil spirit, constantly echoing in the ears, causing an uncontrollable hair-raising feeling. Lu Yun and Xiao Chen leaned on each other, with the white-scale purple-gold knife and the heavenly rainbow sword drawn, the sword and knife chi swirling above the black boat. B0XO. Com ZZZ. After several breaths of the black boat's energy shield breaking, a portal of netherworld chi was slowly opening in the pitch-black night sky. As if connected to the netherworld, something terrifying was being incubated in it. A tremendous pressure surged like a torrent and instantly enveloped the entire void, causing everyone on the black boat to be pressed down, collapsing on the deck. Disciples of the Star Palace fared slightly better, but they too could only barely stand, their entire bodies soaked in sweat. What a terrifying pressure! Just how strong is this power? Lu Yun looked at the black portal in shock. In the black portal, it seemed as if something was about to appear, causing fear in everyone's hearts. No matter the demons or evil spirits chop. Lu Yun shouted loudly, shattering the fear in his heart and striking with all his might. The knife's radiance was like a blood moon in the air. Whoosh! Clank! The blood moon's knife radiance struck the door of Netherworld, emitting a clanking sound of metal collision. Sword 3! Xiao Chen shouted fiercely, injecting true qi into the heavenly rainbow sword and letting the fierce sword qi spread, howling with the wind, and stirring up spots of lightning radiance, bursting out in an instant. Why? The lightning-wrapped sword radiance streaked through the night sky and bloomed completely upon landing on the door of Netherworld. The violent, destructive, and fierce lightning and sword intent burst forth. The sizzling sound echoed through the void, shocking and astonishing everyone. However, the result was chilling to the core. Xiao Chen kneeled on one knee, supporting himself with one hand on the deck, the other propping the heavenly rainbow sword, powerless as he gazed at the turbulent void. The door of Netherworld remained motionless, with something inside about to be incubated. Black weapons gushed out, although only a small group. They burst out instantly, swallowing the starlight, the moonlight, swallowing everything, plunging the void into darkness. At the same time, within the darkness, a white lotus platform appeared, unfolding. In the field of vision, there was only darkness and the white lotus. In the engulfing darkness, the white lotus emitted a sacred radiance, shrouding the black boat. True void universe, birthless parents, enter my white lotus, the grand era co-raises. Basking in the sacred radiance of the blooming white lotus, the cold yet immensely enticing voice echoed in the ears, as if delving deep into the mind and soul. Lu Yun tightly held the long knife with both hands, his body enveloped in pure yang aggressive aura, resembling a great sun, spreading a white golden glow, contending with the sacred glow of the white lotus. Kill! Looking at the gradually sinking crowd, Lu Yun shouted sharply, as a strong slaughter conception exploded, recreating a vast battlefield as if thousands of troops and horses were galloping, endless slaughter unfolding, creating a surge of heaven-shaking killing roars. Darkness enveloped the boundless sky, as the white lotus gradually bloomed, and with every petal that opened, the pure white radiance became more intense, and the alluring sound in the ears became clearer. True void universe, birthless parents, enter my white lotus, the grand era co-raises. Lu Yun felt that the killing intent enveloping his body was getting narrower, and the pure yang aggressive aura became dimmer, only covering himself now. At this critical moment, he suddenly realized that he was fighting alone. While everyone else was drunk, he alone was sober. How desolate and helpless it was. Indifferently looking at the people who had fallen to the ground, dazed and confused, and then at the stubbornly resisting Xiao Chen beside him, Lu Yun felt extremely lonely. Elder Lei, a golden body realm cultivator, was nowhere to be seen. The usually reliable Xiao Chen was down. The crowd on the black boat had been lost and were now entranced by the sacred light of the 100 Flowers' radiance. He could only struggle powerlessly, the feeling of loneliness quickly spreading through his heart. Slowly closing his eyes, he sank his mind, dispelling everything. Suddenly, everything was silent. In the sea of consciousness, the gray space was filled with a blood-red lotus platform covered in blood light, swaying as the only and lonely one-petaled red lotus bloomed, emitting dazzling radiance. A storm stirred, and the surrounding gray mist violently swirled, madly rushing toward the blood-red lotus platform. Absorb and grow. Still, only one petal of the red lotus bloomed, but it appeared more blood-red, demonic, and dazzling. Star-like pupils suddenly opened, scarlet shimmering, shaking the universe. Under the illumination of the white lotus' sacred radiance, his hair turned as dark as ink, and the long knife seemed to be cast in blood. 100 flowers, flowing wind sky dance. Boundless knife radiance was like many flowers, like a storm, sweeping all directions, tearing through the darkness, dispersing the radiance of the white lotus, and stirring up clouds and mist. For a moment the sky cleared, and the starlight reappeared above the black boat, with moonlight scattered all around. What happened to me just now? Zhang Jihe opened his eyes, with everything that had just happened suddenly reappearing in his mind. A mass of black fog was spat out from the door of Netherworld, enveloping the sky and bringing darkness. A spotless white lotus platform appeared, a petal of lotus unfolded, the sacred glow scattered, and the cold and extremely tempting sound echoed through his mind, causing him to fall into a trance completely and lose consciousness. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but shiver. Looking around, almost most people were like him, first confused and then fearful. "Sister, I just had a weird dream that I was captured by bad guys, and I screamed for you, but you couldn't hear me, woo-woo. I'm so scared." Chen Menghan sobbed with tears in her eyes. Chapter 129. Another Xiao Chen _2, It's alright, it's alright. Chen Yao gently patted her sister's back and comforted her in a soft voice, even though her face had turned pale from fright. Under the vast starry sky, starlight twinkled as silvery moonlight and the holy glow of the blooming white lotus intertwined and shone together. The black boat floated still, suspended high up in the sky, as quiet and immovable as a solitary island drifting through the galaxy. The people on the island were like creatures in the path of a violent storm, unable to resist or escape, left with no choice but to accept their powerlessness. The White Lotus sect possessed a sacred treasure called 9-turn pure heart white lotus, which has 9 petals when fully bloomed and purifies everything it touches. Even if this is not the 9-turn pure heart white lotus, it must be of a similar grade, a disciple of the Star Palace stammered at that moment. B0XO. Calm, 9-turn pure heart white lotus? Lu Yun turned to look at the Star Palace disciple, whose eyes were filled with horror and dread. The disciple, named Gong Xian, not only had exceptional talent but also a wide breadth of knowledge, making him quite familiar with many esoteric fields. Despite his slight exaggeration, his words were not too far off the mark. That meant their crisis was far from over and was only just beginning. At the thought of this, Lu Yun's heart instantly sank to rock bottom. The others were even more plunged into despair. Gazing at the still sacred glowing white lotus, everyone was filled with boundless fear and despair instead of admiration. Are we going to be completely purified, or be transformed by the white lotus? The new disciples' eyes were filled with confusion and their bodies trembled. Where is Elder Lei? Why hasn't he shown up yet? Li Yilan's eyes were completely red, as he roared almost hoarsely. Right, where is Elder Lei? He is a peak gold body realm expert. If he would just show up, no matter what evil creatures we face, it would all be reduced to nothingness. The other Star Palace disciples finally reacted and shouted loudly. However, their cries only led to more despair. Lei Kang, Elder Lei, seemed to be absent from the black boat. With the elder absent, the only one left with the authority to command the disciples on the black boat was Zhang Jihe, but he wasn't acting, his eyes vacant and mumbling some words to himself. 9-turn pure heart white lotus. 9-turn pure heart white lotus. Not only him, but also everyone else who knew about the 9-turn pure heart white lotus wore expressions of despair and disorientation. The many disciples on board the black boat were like a headless dragon, thoroughly disorganized. Lu Yun leaped into the air, and stood at the highest point of the black boat. He had always acted extremely low-key and had grown stronger inconspicuously. But at this moment, he felt that he should step up and do something. His pure yang aura, fierce and aggressive, covered his entire body and shone like a great sun as he stood atop the black boat. Looking down at the dispirited, despairing people on the deck, he drew his sword, unleashing a boundless crimson glow across the entire black boat. "We are disciples of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. We are the heavenly prides of the Martial Academy," he shouted loudly. "As heavenly prides, we should be resolute and proud, growing stronger and more glorious as we slay demons and exterminate evil. Now that we face a crisis, should we fall into despair and be lost, or should we fight back and preserve our pride and glory? You decide for yourselves." Having said that, he stopped speaking, his blood-red gaze falling upon the white lotus platform in the sky. With his sword overflowing with power, the blood-red sword light dyed half of the sky red, and the astonishing killing intent stirred up an endless storm of raging wind. He suddenly leaped into the air and charged towards the mysterious white lotus platform, slashing down. The sword light was fierce, and the blood-red glow was dazzling. Zhang Jihe and the others who witnessed this were deeply shocked. They were not only astonished by Lu Yun's strength, but also by his courage. The sacred treasure of the White Lotus sect, the nine-turn pure heart White Lotus, was a being above treasure artifacts, which even Rune Seed realm experts could not counter. Yet Lu Yun, who was only in the true Qi realm and, at best, could barely rival an early-stage transforming origin realm martial artist, dared to use his sword against it. Was he overestimating his abilities, or was he as fearless as a ferocious tiger with a heart that knew no bounds? The blood-red blade fell, stirring up a massive wave, and Lu Yun's body was sent flying backward, blood gushing from his mouth, staining his dark purple star robe and the silent night, but it couldn't stain the completely despairing hearts of everyone else. Perhaps some of them wanted to be like him, drawing their swords and fighting, punching with all their might regardless of their lives. However, not everyone could withstand that powerful aura, and not everyone could comprehend the conceptions like him and muster the strength to unleash a powerful attack. Lying on the deck of the black boat, Lu Yun had an expression of desolation and powerlessness on his face. In the end, he was still fighting alone. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, he struggled to his feet. With a clench of his hand, the white-scale purple-gold knife far away shook violently, then shot into the sky and landed steadily in his hand. "As long as one haven't exhausted all my strength, I won't fall." It seemed like he was talking to himself, but also like he was speaking to the others. Everyone silently watched Lu Yun, whose eyes were bloodshot and body immersed in a bloody glow, wanting to say something but eventually remaining silent as they saw the faintly glowing White Lotus platform. "Kill!" With this thought permeating every corner of his body, Lu Yun channeled all of the pure yang aura from his dantian into the white-scale purple-gold knife and slashed once again at the White Lotus blooming high in the sky. As the sword was unleashed, the blood-red lotus in his sea of consciousness trembled, its petals swaying gracefully, all its slaughter conceptions exploding within. There was only one move to 100 flowers, flowing wind celestial dance, but it had 3 slashes in total. Chapter 130. Another Shao Chen _3. If the 100 flowers was a wide-range powerful attack, then the second strike would be an even broader range, and its attack would be more terrifying. This blade stirred up a fierce wind, raised a river of blood, and enveloped an endless force. The moment it almost touched the White Lotus platform, it completely unleashed. Boom! It seemed like it was striking the hardest object in the world. The powerful force bounced back, and the intense energy and strength passed over, shaking his arms, hitting his internal organs, and as his body flew backward, blood gushed out. Lu Yun landed heavily on the black boat, his figure appearing extremely miserable, and the white-scale purple-gold knife was thrown more than 10 meters away. B0XO. Calm. Meanwhile, the White Lotus platform's brilliance became even more dazzling, and the second petal was about to bloom. The sound in everyone's ears once again became clear and bright. Void universe, no life, father and mother, enter my White Lotus, and together we flourish. Void universe, no life, father and mother, enter my White Lotus, and together we flourish. One more strike. The white scale purple gold knife flew back into his hand. Lu Yun's eyes were full of murderous intent, and the pure yang aggressive aura exploded desperately. This would be the strongest strike he could deliver, and it would also be the last. Although he hadn't exhausted too much pure yang aggressive aura, his body had reached its limit. The two previous counterattacks had caused significant damage. At this moment, the pure yang aggressive aura in his body became more turbulent in his meridians, one wave surpassing another, desperately striking his meridians and pouring into the white scale purple gold knife. If it were not for the fact that the white scale purple gold knife was a superior true artifact, it would have been burst by the terrifying pure yang aggressive aura. Whoosh! The third strike was completely different from the previous two. The first strike of 100 Flowers and the second strike of the Flowing Wind were wide-range attacks, both with great power. But the third strike was different. The attack and explosion of this strike were focused on a single point, condensing all measurements to the extreme. As the blade struck, it was like a flood dragon swirling and dancing, roaring wildly, and violently crashing onto the faintly shining White Lotus. Rumble! A deafening sound echoed through the sky, stirring the lonely depths of space, and the terrifying force spread out, causing a strong gale. The White Lotus remained still like a deity, standing quietly in the void. Its sacred light surged violently, and the second pure white petal bloomed. The brilliance enveloped the entire sky, completely covering the black boat. Lu Yun, who was flown out, looked at the scene and smiled faintly. So, I'm still so weak. Even if I do my best and explode all my cards, I'm still powerless in the face of a real crisis. Void universe, no life, father and mother, enter my White Lotus, and together we flourish. Void universe, no life, father and mother, enter my White Lotus, and together we flourish. The cold and seductive voice echoed faintly, first booming in his ears. Then, it began to appear in his mind, like the meditation sounds, making people sink into it. Finally, it began to invade the sea of consciousness. However, just as it entered the sea of consciousness, the blood-red lotus platform in the center rippled slightly, and endless slaughter erupted, completely obliterating it. Lu Yun regained his consciousness and slowly opened his eyes. At this moment, the stars were shining, the silver moon was faint, and the White Lotus platform in the sky grew even brighter, with its third petal already blooming. Lu Yun struggled a bit, and the boundless pain instantly occupied his mind, pulling on every nerve. It hurt so much, and he took a deep breath and finally gave up struggling, just basking in the starlight and the sacred light shed by the White Lotus. Maybe when the fourth or fifth petal of the White Lotus blooms completely, you guys will no longer be flying Spirit Martial Academy disciples. Looking at the peacefully sleeping people on the black boat, Lu Yun thought to himself. The 9-turn pure heart White Lotus was in existence above a treasure artifact, which could have 9 petals blooming. When the 9-petaled White Lotus was in full bloom, it could make martial artists below the 7th realm completely give up resistance, purify their hearts, and from then on submit to the White Lotus Saint Mother. Lu Yun had seen this record in a book in the book collection pavilion. However, this White Lotus platform was not the real 9-turn pure heart White Lotus but should be its offshoot. But even so, transforming the people on the black boat would naturally be an easy task. After all, the highest level of cultivation among the people on the black boat was only the 3rd realm, which was not durable enough. Pitter-patter. At this moment, Xiao Qin slowly stood up, with a myriad of cold lights flashing in her starry eyes, and purple lightning erupted around her body. First, he looked at his body, then at his extremely tender hands, feeling somewhat speechless. This body is not only extremely weak, but its aptitude is also so terrible. Fortunately, the swordsmanship talent is decent, otherwise it would have been a huge loss. He shook his head slightly and then reached out. The heavenly rainbow sword flew into his hand, first bursting out with thunderous sword chi, then it turned into gray-black sword chi. As the holy light in the sky encountered the gray-black sword chi, it was as if it had met its nemesis, hastily retreating and extinguishing. Seeing Xiao Chen suddenly stand up, Lu Yun's pupils dilated in shock, his face filled with disbelief. Is this Xiao Chen? Why did it suddenly seem like he turned into another person? He still had the same features, the same cold and arrogant demeanor. The current Xiao Chen didn't have a hint of aura around him. It was like he was an ordinary person. But just by standing there, he was like an unparalleled divine sword, sharp-edged and fierce, domineering yet majestic, making people unable to look directly at him. Xiao Chen didn't pay any attention to Lu Yun. Instead, he looked up at the sky, where the lotus platform was gradually unfolding its fourth petal, and a cold, fierce sword chi erupted in his star-like eyes. Speaking of which, one was able to wake up so early thanks to you. As a token of my gratitude, I'll give you a sword. With the swing of his sword, the light of the sword shimmered slightly as if it came from the chaos beyond, breaking the chaos and creating heaven and earth. Under this unparalleled sword, the vast holy radiance instantly extinguished. In the middle of the white lotus platform with 4 petals unfolded, a tiny crack appeared. Through the crack, one could faintly see a trace of sword light continuously cutting. It cut through a body, cutting through heaven and earth. Seeing this scene, Lu Yun felt his imagination completely exhausted. What kind of swordsmanship could achieve such a degree? The power of this sword completely exceeded Lu Yun's current imagination. Even the green pupil demon ape, who had once forced 2 golden body realm peak warriors to retreat, would probably be instantly extinguished under this sword. After all, that supposedly powerful expert above the golden body realm had been completely extinguished under the horror of a single sword, without the slightest resistance. That boundless heaven and earth had also been easily washed away by this sword. The aptitude of this body is too poor, unable to withstand even a single sword. With a sigh, Xiao Chen reached out, and the white lotus platform, split in half, instantly appeared in front of him. Under Lu Yun's stunned and incredulous gaze, the white lotus platform quickly withered and turned into boundless energy, which flowed into Xiao Chen's body, constantly enhancing his physical body. A dozen breaths later, the white lotus platform turned into ashes and dissipated with the wind. Alas, even when compared with the weakest sword body, it's still far from enough. What a pity there isn't enough time, otherwise I could raise its physique a bit more. Xiao Chen sighed gently. At this moment, he seemed to finally notice that there were other people around, and a hint of killing intent flashed in his eyes. The moment his killing intent erupted, an immeasurably terrifying pressure suddenly burst forth, and the black boat, which had been slowly flying, suddenly started to sway violently. Cough, cough. Under that sudden burst of pressure, Lu Yun only felt that his internal organs were being horrifically squeezed, and his unrecovered injuries erupted once again, blood spurting wildly from his throat. Finally, he completely passed out. Just as the murderous intent erupted, a strange light suddenly flashed in Xiao Chen's eyes. I hope you won't regret this in the future. He muttered to himself, and the boundless pressure suddenly receded. The black boat became calm once again, as if nothing had ever happened. His eyes lingering on Lu Yun for a few breaths, he suddenly fell to the ground. At the moment Xiao Chen fell, a golden thunderbolt suddenly flashed in the sky above the black boat. From the thunderbolt, a staggering figure emerged. What just happened? At this moment, Lei Kang's body was surrounded by thunderbolts like coursing snakes, his aura wilted, and his entire body was battered. It was obvious that he had just experienced a fierce battle. His gaze swept over everyone on the black boat, finding all of them unconscious. I hope Gu Yuan is still here, otherwise it would be terrible. Lei Kang hurriedly ran into the control room of the black boat and saw a tiger-striped veterinarian lying on the floor. He took a deep breath of relief. But very quickly, he became tense again. We shouldn't stay here for long. Boom. The black boat sped towards the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Chapter 131. Awakening, Request for Monthly Ticket, Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Star Peak. Small building number 3358. The moment his eyes flickered open, Lu Yun's body jolted upright. Where am I? Am I not dead? B0XO. Calm. These two thoughts flashed across Lu Yun's chaotic mind at lightning speed. Then, the scenes before his blackout replayed rapidly in his mind. A surge of immense oppression. A terrifying spread of murderous intent. Familiar figures. An earth-shattering sword swing. A white lotus platform. The pitch-black door of Netherworld. Then all those scenes pieced together once more, forming a continuous, dynamic picture. The black boat was ambushed halfway by the White Lotus sect. Elder Lei Kang was absent for some reason. The door of the Netherworld opened, revealing a 9-turn pure heart White Lotus that saved everyone on board the black boat. He fought alone and was seriously wounded due to his inability to resist the enemy. He then joined forces with Xiao Chen, who suddenly awakened but seemed to have become a different person. With one swing of his sword, Xiao Chen cut through the Netherworld, broke the lotus platform, and split the earth and the sky. In the end, he suddenly intended to kill everyone on the black boat. After replaying this picture in his mind, Lu Yun finally felt clearer. But why am I still alive? Could it be that Xiao Chen killed everyone else and spared me? Or did he spare everyone? Contemplating these possibilities, Lu Yun felt an instant surge of overwhelming confusion. Just then, the door creaked open, interrupting Lu Yun's thoughts. This little girl looks familiar. Wearing a smoke cloud butterfly dress, and about 11 or 12 years old, isn't this Chen Yaowei, one of the level 5 innate talents? Right, she's the good seed capable of providing him with a few hundred contribution points. Wait, why is she still alive? Lu, senior brother Lu has woken up. Upon seeing Lu Yun stirring from the bed, Chen Yaowei couldn't help but gasp in surprise. Then, there was a loud bang as the door was flung open, and another more than familiar figure appeared in Lu Yun's sight. The moment he saw this figure, Lu Yun shivered violently. Why is it that guy? Lu Yun yelled internally. The scene on the black boat had left a deep impression on him. His memories were too distinct, causing him to instinctively fear when he saw Xiao Chen. Regardless of his ability to cut through the netherworld with one sword swing, split the lotus platform, or shatter the earth and the sky, even the immense pressure and terrifying murderous intent he had unleashed in the end had left an indelible memory on Lu Yun. This guy is too dangerous. Looking at Lu Yun's reaction, Xiao Chen thought that Lu Yun's injuries had recurred and couldn't help but ask, "Are you all right?" His tone remained cold and indifferent, but a trace of concern was discernible in his icy eyes. I'm fine. Lu Yun quickly reassured and then took a moment to reassess the Xiao Chen. Pupils deep like the galaxies, sharp as an eagle's, eyebrows slightly knitted, embodying endless thoughts. His elegant face still held a hint of youth. This was starkly different from the Xiao Chen bathed in purple lightning on the black boat. Lu Yun was certain he did not mistake his observations. Although it was the same person, the feelings they gave off were completely different. Do you have any recollection of what happened on the black boat? Lu Yun cautiously asked. After a moment of silence, Xiao Chen replied. Shortly after I executed the final slash, I completely lost consciousness due to exhaustion. When I came to, the black boat had already arrived at the Martial Academy. Lu Yun fixed his eyes on Xiao Chen, hoping to spot something out of the ordinary, but found nothing. Did you notice anything unusual in your body or soul when you woke up? Lu Yun continued his exploration. I suppose not. It's just that the spiritual drain has been severe, likely because of the influence of the malicious power from the White Lotus sect. Mentioning the White Lotus sect, a flash of murderous intent gleamed in Xiao Chen's eyes. Did you notice no change in your body? Recalling the White Lotus platform that had been refined, Lu Yun continued to probe. No difference, no problem whatsoever. Xiao Chen retorted. What about you? You've been unconscious for half a month. What happened to you after one passed out, to have suffered such serious injuries? What he knew was even less than Chen Yaowei and the others. However, if others chose not to say, he would naturally not ask. I don't quite know either. Lu Yun shook his head slightly. To this point, he still felt there were many questions left unanswered. Since Xiao Chen doesn't remember what occurred on the black boat, he naturally wouldn't mention it as he was unsure whether it would be good or bad for Xiao Chen. Or perhaps revealing it would put his own life at risk. After all, he had experienced that dreadful murderous intent firsthand. Under such suddenly unleashed murderous intent, he felt that his slaughter conception was merely a drop in the bucket, and he could not resist it. I think I know something. Just then, Chen Yaowei, who was off to the side, chimed in. Only then did Lu Yun and Xiao Chen realize there was a third person in the room. Feeling the gaze of both Lu Yun and Xiao Chen on her, Chen Yaowei immediately became nervous. It's okay, go on, Lu Yun reassured with a smile. Apparently drawing great courage from this, Chen Yaowei managed to overcome her nervousness, softly speaking. Senior brother Lu, you sustained such severe damage because you were relentlessly attacking the Lotus platform, only to be gravely wounded by its counterblow. Seeing senior brother Lu continue to attack the Lotus platform despite his grave injuries, but all we could do was stand by helplessly. At this point, tears welled up in Chen Yaowei's eyes, and she broke down crying. She has been putting on a brave face in front of her younger sister all this time. Chapter 132. Awakening, request for monthly ticket, _2 But now, she was almost like a person made of tears. Tears are the most useless things. A person who weeps easily is no different from trash. Xiao Chen frowned slightly, coldly saying, Okay, your task is complete, go back. Upon hearing that, Chen Yaowei quickly wiped her tears and bravely said, Senior brother Xiao, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I promise not to cry easily again. Can I continue to take care of senior brother Lu? No need, he's already awake, your task is done. I will give you the corresponding contribution points. Go back and cultivate diligently. Chen Yaowei wanted to explain further, but upon seeing Xiao Chen's icy gaze, she immediately choked. B0XO. Calm, taking care of me? It took Lu Yun a while to react, followed by a puzzled expression. What do you mean by taking care of me just now? Hearing this, Chen Yaowei seemed to have found a savior, and immediately explained, after the black boat returned to the Martial Academy, everyone had already woken up, only senior brother Lu you were seriously injured. Even Elder Lei had no way to help, so senior brother Xiao brought you back here, and let me take care of you. So, I've been unconscious for half a month, and you took care of me for half a month? Lu Yun asked, pointing at himself and then at Chen Yaowei. Yes, that's right. Chen Yaowei obediently nodded her head. Lu Yun instantly lost his composure and yelled at Xiao Chen. You actually let a good seedling with level 5 and 8 talent take care of me, taking care of me for a whole half month, that's such a waste. Immediately, as if he had thought of something, his expression became serious and said, You should be the one to provide the contribution points. Half a month is only worth 100 contribution points, I'll pay for you. Xiao Chen said indifferently. Right after, he took out an elite disciple identity token from his chest and a few pill bottles, and handed them to Chen Yaowei. Lu Yun has recovered, and there's no need for you to keep taking care of him. This is the elite disciple's identity token, as well as your rewards for the innate talent test. Take it back and cultivate well. Pausing for a moment, he added, Also, don't cry at will, it looks really ugly. Chen Yue nodded heavily, took the identity token and the pills, and a smile bloomed on her tear-stained face. Senior Brother Lu, thank you. Senior Brother Xiao, thank you too. After saying that, she closed the door and left with small, quick step. After Chen Yue left, Lu Yun raised an eyebrow and laughed. Hee, I didn't expect you to be quite good at comforting people. Xiao Chun ignored Lu Yun's teasing and simply said, this mission rewards a total of 9,000 contribution points, 3,000 from the basic mission, 3,000 from obtaining 8 level 5 innate talents, and the remaining 3,000 from Gu Yuan. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun couldn't help but gasp, and a smile of relief and excitement appeared on his face. Haha, 3,000 contribution points, isn't that equivalent to 3 level 6 profound origin pills, totaling 2,100 energy points? Oh no, it's only half that, so it should be 3 bottles of profound origin pills, giving 1,050 energy points. After a while, Lu Yun finally calmed his excited emotions. 3,000 contribution points? What innate talent does that kid have to get such a big reward? In a great mood, Lu Yun was also curious about Gu Yuan's innate talent. I don't know, the Martial Academy didn't announce it, but it should be at least 7 stars pinnacle talent, of course, this is just my guess. Lu Yun stroked his chin and pondered. 7 stars pinnacle talent, I'm afraid there's no stronger talent in the entire Spirit Martial Prefecture. Xiao Chen nodded. Yes, as far as I know, the Martial Academy has never had a talent greater than 6-star pinnacle before. A 7-star talent has never appeared. Such a good talent, the rewards after entering the academy must not be low, it is really enviable. Lu Yun couldn't help but lick his lips, as if another large sum of energy points had flown past him. Becoming the dean's personal disciple is the best reward. Xiao Qin revealed such a piece of news to Lu Yun. For this, Lu Yun was not too surprised. It was only natural for the only 6-star or above innate talent to become the dean's personal disciple. Hurry up and transfer the contribution points to me. I can't wait to go to the pill medicine building and spend a round. Lu Yun took out his own identity token and handed it over. Xiao Chen didn't hesitate and completed the transfer of contribution points quickly. After receiving the identity token, Lu Yun, not feeling reassured, checked it once. Seeing the contribution points in the identity token, Lu Yun immediately jumped off the bed and pretended to be angry. Are you sure you didn't transfer them incorrectly? Positive. Xiao Chen was unmoved and calmly said. Lu Yun snorted. Humph, do you want me to calculate it for you again? Xiao Chen calmly replied, you can. Seeing Xiao Chen's unmoved attitude, Lu Yun was fuming inside. Originally, I had 50 contribution points, and the total mission contribution was 9,000 points. Splitting it evenly between the two of us, each person should have 4,500 points. After you transferred the points to me, my token should have 4,550 points. But now I only have 4,450 points. Where are the other 100 contribution points? Lu Yun stared intently at Xiao Chen, for contribution points were equivalent to energy value meant strength, and strength equated to life. This was not something that could be taken lightly. Xiao Chen looked at Lu Yun as if he were an idiot. Didn't I transfer the remaining 100 contribution points to that little girl for you? You forgot so quickly? For me? For me? Lu Yun clenched his teeth in anger. Could it be that your injuries were too severe, affecting your sea of consciousness and causing your memory to falter? Xiao Chen pretended to be serious. No, I must find that little girl and bring her back to take care of you for a while. With that, he vanished in a flash. Watching Xiao Chen leave as if he was fleeing, Lu Yun was furious but had nowhere to vent his anger, so he could only scream internally. All my 100 contribution points. It took a while for him to calm down and fall back into deep thought. What I can be sure of is that this Xiao Chen is still the same Xiao Chen as before. However, what happened to the Xiaoqin on the black boat? And what happened after I passed out? Lu Yun couldn't help but recall the sudden burst of terrifying murderous intent coming from Xiaoqin, causing him to shudder at the thought. Such a powerful person should be able to kill me easily. But now, I'm still alive and well, and according to what Chun little girl said, everyone on the black boat is still alive. With that in mind, Lu Yun simply cleared the chaotic thoughts from his mind. He calmed down and opened the panel. Name: Lu Yun. Power: Flying Spirit Martial Academy Martial Arts. 7 Kill Saber Technique. Reach Profound, cannot be upgraded. Black Tiger Saber Technique, Perfection, cannot be upgraded. Eastern Wind Break, Entry Level 1%, can be merged. Celestial Dance, 100 Flowers, Perfection can be merged. Gale Thunder Flash Step, Great Accomplishment 90%. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, True Chi Chapter, Smale Achievement 53%. Innate Talent, Level 6 Martial Arts. True Chi Realm, 4 times Refined, Energy Value, 10, automatically increases by 1 every 2 days. Conception, Slaughter Conception, first rank 47%. Both Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon and 100 Flowers. Celestial Dance's cultivation progress had slightly improved. In addition, his energy value had accumulated to 10. To Lu Yun's surprise, the progress of his Slaughter Conception had reached first rank 47%. This greatly exceeded his expectations. Because Slaughter Conception consumed too much energy value, he had always been reluctant to use energy value to improve it. But now it had risen to first rank 47%, a level of improvement that far exceeded his expectations. I remember that during the Eastfield Giant City incident, my Slaughter Conception was just at first rank 27%. How did it rise so much after just half a month of sleep? Could it be that sleep is conducive to the improvement of Slaughter Conception? Seemingly realizing the absurdity of his idea, Lu Yun chuckled and shook his head. The Slaughter Conception was likely raised that day on the black boat. However, one don't know whether it was my resistance against the oppressive force, the desperate use of Slaughter Conception that caused it to soar, or the terrifying murderous intent of Xiaoqin that led to the improvement of Slaughter Conception. Or maybe it was a combination of both factors. With that thought, Lu Yun had a new idea on how to quickly improve his Slaughter Conception. As far as he knew, as long as he continued to kill, his Slaughter Conception would continually improve. Moreover, during times of great crisis and pressure, it seemed to enhance the Slaughter Conception as well. However, this was only Lu Yun's speculation, and he couldn't rule out whether it was because of other external factors or not. Closing the panel, Lu Yun looked at the token in his hand with a slight grin. 4,450 contribution points might not be a lot, but they were enough for him to splurge for a while. Looking at the setting sun that was almost level with the windowsill, Lu Yun vanished from the room with a flash. Chapter 133. Astonishing Wind Extreme Saber Manual Pill Medicine Building. A young man in a star robe, Lu Yun, appeared in front of the Pill Medicine Building. Senior Brother Lu. The moment Yao Lin saw Lu Yun, he immediately came out of the Pill Medicine Building with a bright smile on his face. Junior Brother Yao, long time no see. Lu Yun returned the greeting with a smile, then followed Yao Lin into the Pill Medicine Building. B0XO. Calm today, quite a few disciples had come to the Pill Medicine Building, making the entire hall bustling. Senior Brother Lu. Senior Brother Lu. Upon seeing Lu Yun enter, many disciples greeted him with smiles, their eyes filled with surprise and shock. News of the beast tide in Eastfield Giant City and the incident on the black boat had spread throughout the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, making Lu Yun an invisible senior brother among many disciples. Even though his entry to the academy was later than everyone present, and he was younger than all of them, Lu Yun responded with a smile and, under Yao Lin's leadership, went directly into a separate room. After serving Lu Yun a cup of tea, Yao Lin asked, "Senior Brother Lu, How many profound origin pills do you need this time? 8 bottles. With that, Lu Yun took the identity token from his waist and handed it to Yao Lin. Alright, wait a moment. Yao Lin took the identity token, closed the door, and left. Lu Yun looked around the room while sipping the tea, with mixed feelings in his heart. Once there is a gap, there will be different treatments everywhere, even in the holy land of martial arts in Spirit Martial Prefecture. And all of this depends on talent and strength. Soon, Yao Lin came back with several jade bottles in his hand, and a few drops of fine sweat on his forehead. Wiping the sweat from his forehead, he said while panting, "Senior Brother Lu, here are the 8 bottles of profound origin pills and your identity token." Alright, thank you. Lu Yun put the profound origin pills into his sumi bag and checked the identity token, finding that there were still 850 contribution points left, causing his eyebrows to furrow slightly. Junior Brother Yao, did you make a mistake and miscalculate 400 contribution points? Yao Lin shook his head and explained with a smile, per the elder's instructions, from now on, the pill medicine building's pills will be 10% off for Senior Brother Lu. Oh, 1C. Having the pills at 10% off was an unexpected delight for Lu Yun. Immediately, he asked Yao Lin to exchange another bottle of profound origin pills and then left the pill medicine building. By the time he returned to his residence, night had fallen. 9 bottles of profound origin pills should be enough for me to significantly improve my strength. Lu Yun went straight into the cultivation room. Taking out all the profound origin pills and placing them in front of him, pure yang aura burst out, enveloping all of the pills and starting the refinement process. In less than 2 hours, all the profound origin pills were refined, and a hint of delight flashed in Lu Yun's eyes. At this moment, an information panel appeared. Energy plus 3150. His gaze fell on the energy value column on the panel. Energy value 3160. With so much energy, it should be enough to continue merging techniques. Lu Yun suppressed his excitement and opened the fusion panel for the flowing wind sky dance technique. It's discovered that 100 flowers flowing wind sky dance and eastern wind break can be merged. The merger consumes 1,500 energy points. Seeing this, a glint flashed in Lu Yun's eyes. When the 100 flowers flowing wind sky dance reached a small achievement, merging it with eastern wind break would require 1,500 energy points to be consumed. Now, 100 flowers flowing wind sky dance was perfect, and merging it again with the same technique still required the same amount of energy, which couldn't help but delight Lu Yun. Double happiness comes today. Without hesitation, he proceeded with the merge. 1,500 energy points were consumed in an instant. At the same time, the words, Eastern Wind Break, on the panel disappeared. Next, a memory like a flood emerged in the depths of Lu Yun's mind, but it was quickly absorbed and digested due to his greatly improved slaughter conception and substantial growth in spiritual power. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual. After completely merging the memories, a touch of shock appeared in Lu Yun's eyes. The combination of 100 flowers flowing wind sky dance and eastern wind break formed a new technique. No, it should be called a saber manual named the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual. According to the memory, the manual currently had 4 levels, or 4 moves. 100 flowers, flowing wind, celestial dance, and breaking extreme. What shocked him even more was the panel's description of the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual Martial Arts. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, Tier 3, 27%. The lesson level of the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual was no longer great accomplishment or perfection but Tier 3. The progress remained unchanged. The third tier represented the third move of the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, the Celestial Dance, with the current progress changing to 83%. Could it be that the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual has surpassed the scope of martial arts and reached the realm of techniques? Lu Yun couldn't help clenching his fists and secretly pondered. What he referred to as techniques were cultivation technique. Martial arts are practiced by martial artists within the true Qi realm and below. Cultivation techniques are above superior martial arts and do not belong to the same level. For true Qi realm martial artists, refining true Qi to the limit will undergo a qualitative change, converting it into true origin to advance to the transforming origin realm. To transform true origin, they need to be in accordance with the attributes of martial arts practiced while refining true Qi. I wanted to see if the energy consumption of upgrading one progress stage has changed quickly. Lu Yun settled down and began to boost his astonishing wind saber manual. Before the merge, it took 10 energy points to increase the progress of the perfected 100 flowers flowing wine sky dance by one stage. So, Lu Yun was prepared to consume 100 energy points at once. Chapter 134. Astonishing Wind Extreme Saber Manual _2, consuming 100 energy points. The Astonishing Wind Saber Manual is upgraded to level 3, 88% as expected, using the same amount of energy points. The progress of cultivation increased only to half of the previous rate. This confirmed Lu Yun's guess. The Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, formed by fusing Eastern Wind Break and 100 Flowers, Flowing Wind Sky Dance, had evolved to the level of cultivation technique. To increase its cultivation progress at a similar pace, the consumption of energy points had drastically increased. Looking at the 1,560 remaining energy points on the panel, Lu Yun temporarily put aside the thought of continuing to upgrade the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual. B0XO. Calm, the third level of the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual should be enough for me to use during the True Qi Realm stage. At present, the most important thing is to improve my realm, Lu Yun thought. Only by improving realm, saber technique, and martial arts conception simultaneously could he maximize his strength. If the realm is not enough, even if saber technique and martial arts conception are powerful, they would still be rootless duckweed that would be blown away by the wind. Similarly, if one only has a high realm but doesn't have corresponding techniques and martial arts conception, when faced with enemies of the same level, they might be killed in a few moves. Understanding this truth, Lu Yun naturally wouldn't be short-sighted. He wanted to advance in a balanced manner. Let's start improving. There seemed to be flames burning in Lu Yun's eyes. Consume 200 energy points and raise the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Qi chapter to small achievement 93%. With every wave of energy points consumed, the Pure Yang aggressive aura in his body would undergo different degrees of refinement. At the same time, Lu Yun's spiritual power also experienced significant consumption. For an entire day, Lu Yun stayed in the cultivation room, upgrading and then recovering. Once he recovered, he would upgrade again. Name: Lu Yun of Force. Flying Spirit Martial Academy Martial Arts. 7 Kill Saber Technique. Reach Profound, cannot be upgraded. Black Tiger Saber Technique, Perfection, cannot be upgraded. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, Level 3 88%. Gale Thunder Flash Step, Great Accomplishment 90%. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, True Qi Chapter, Perfection 16%. Innate Talent, Level 6 Martial Arts. True Qi Realm, 10 Refinements. Energy Value, 12, increase by 1 every 2 days. Conception, Slaughter Conception, first rank 47%. This was all the rewards that Lu Yun obtained after a day of seclusion. 3,160 energy points were almost completely consumed, replaced by a completely renewed panel and an extremely powerful strength. Now, the Pure Yang aggressive aura in Lu Yun's Dantian had been refined 10 times, reaching the limit that the heavenly pride of the Martial Academy could achieve. However, this was still not his limit. The limit of the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Qi chapter was 12 times the True Qi refinement. Lu Yun could still continue to improve and lay a solid foundation for his breakthrough to the transforming origin realm with the most monstrous True Qi realm. The third level Astonishing Wind Saber Manual, nearly perfected Gale Thunder Flash Step, first-rank slaughter conception, and 10 times refined pure yang aggressive aura should make me invincible in the true Qi realm. One wonder if one have a chance of winning against the late-stage experts of the transforming origin realm. The improvement of my strength this time is much greater than before. If I still can't contend with those in the late stage of the transforming origin realm, then one won't do justice to the many energy points I've used. Although transforming origin realm martial artists are strong, they still fall short compared to 4th-rank demon beasts. When Lu Yun reached 4 refinements of true Qi, he and Xiao Chen had jointly slain a 4th-rank demon beast. Now that he had refined his true Qi 10 times, his strength had increased countless times compared to before. Therefore, he had great confidence in defeating the late-stage experts of the transforming origin realm. Of course, having confidence is one thing, whether he could win is another. There was a perfect place in the martial academy to test his strength. Lu Yun once again left the cultivation room and came to the Myriad Phenomena Square. As always, the Myriad Phenomena Square was lively, gathering many disciples. There were mostly ordinary disciples and elite disciples, with few Star Palace disciples. Lu Yun didn't recognize any of them, but many people recognized him. No sooner had he arrived than many people stared at him with the eyes of little fans, making the low-key Lu Yun uncomfortable. More than a dozen breaths later, Lu Yun appeared in the Myriad Phenomena Tower, panting heavily as if had just gone through a great battle. Now, he finally understood why the celebrities in his previous life either wore sunglasses or had security guards following them at all times. Being too famous was really dangerous. The key was that he couldn't fight back, which was the most deadly part. Rumbling. At this moment, a group of high and mighty windstorm silver-scale horses galloped towards Lu Yun, stirring up a vast silver ocean. The momentum was terrifyingly magnificent and horrifying. Under such a spectacle, most mid-stage true Qi realm martial artists would probably give up and flee for their lives. Lu Yun, however, leisurely watched. The windstorm silver-scale horses were naturally beautiful, and their large numbers made the scene even more impressive as they raced across the green plains. As the windstorm silver-scale horses were about to charge to within a few dozen meters of him, Lu Yun's eyes turned cold, and his white-scale purple-gold knife was instantly unsheathed, immediately slashing out 100 blade shadows. Each blade shadow was only about a foot in size, flying through the air and falling like hundreds of flowers. Rumbling! The blade shadows pierced through the incredibly strong windstorm silver-scale horses, penetrating their heads, stomachs, necks, eyes, and other parts. The massive corpses crashed to the ground and turned into streaks of light, disappearing. Swoosh! Lu Yun stepped on the thunder and darted through the remaining windstorm silver-scale horses. After charging back and forth only a dozen times, the entire 11th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower quieted down. Chapter 135. Astonishing Wind Extreme Saber Manuals. Not bad, I only consumed half of my aggressive aura. Lu Yun was quite satisfied with his performance. The 12th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. Lu Yun appeared in dense, luxuriant grass, carefully examining a demon beast in the distance. It was a rather large lion, about 20 feet tall and 30 feet long, with fur-like flames all over its body. Its eyes were almost entirely white, with pupils like red beans in the center. It seemed as if flames burned within its pupils. Its 4 strong hooves slowly stepped on the ground and its ears stood up, apparently always alert. B0XO. Calm, it's similar to the flaming frenzied lion I encountered in Eastfield Giant City. However, that lion was a powerful 5th-rank demon beast, while this one, based on its aura, can only be considered a mid-3rd rank at most, at best a flaming frenzied kitten. Lu Yun thought to himself. Roar! The flaming frenzied demon tiger seemed to hear the noise and suddenly turned its head. When it saw that there was indeed someone in the distant bushes, it immediately let out an angry roar. It bent its front legs slightly and pushed with its hind legs. Its massive body immediately turned into a ball of fiery red shadow and rushed toward Lu Yun. As it got closer to Lu Yun's body, its sharp teeth and claws glowed brightly under the sunlight, appearing incredibly dazzling and cold. A mere mid-third rank demon beast. Lu Yun sneered, his right arm moved slightly, and true origin erupted. The white-scale purple-gold knife's blade surged, slicing fiercely forward. Swoosh! The blade, extending a full 10 feet long, slashed at the flaming frenzied demon tiger in midair. Its incredibly hard head was cut open with ease, and its massive body was also severed. Boom! The nearly bifurcated flaming frenzied demon tiger crashed to the ground, and as the light flashed, its corpse quickly turned into a large amount of spiritual light and disappeared. A few breaths later, boom! Sounds like an earthquake erupted from all directions, and Lu Yun felt the ground shaking continuously. With a cold glance, he saw large flaming frenzied demon tigers rushing toward him from all around. So they are all mid-third rank? Looking at the 20 or 30 flaming frenzied demon tigers, Lu Yun smirked, and his body suddenly blurred, leaving behind an afterimage. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Blades of sword chi crisscrossed like a torrential rain, engulfing everything. One after another, the demon tigers fell and turned into spiritual light, disappearing. Less than an hour later, only Lu Yun remained on the 12th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. Looking at the countless pits and ravines scattered around, Lu Yun felt invigorated. After a whole half-month of sleep, he felt rusty, but this fierce battle had somehow brought back his long-lost feeling. However, mid-third rank demon beasts were still too weak. Even with their numbers, they couldn't make Lu Yun take them seriously. I hope the demon beasts on the next floor won't disappoint me. Lu Yun mumbled before stepping into the portal leading to the 13th floor. On the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, what appeared before Lu Yun were 5 late third rank demon beasts, along with 30 mid-third rank demon beasts. The late third rank demon beasts were leopards with crescent-shaped fangs. They were about 30 feet long, their eyes filled with cold light. Boom! They moved incredibly fast, turning into streaks of light, appearing in front of Lu Yun. Their strong, sharp claws fiercely slapped out, and the violent force seemed to burst the very air, rushing towards Lu Yun from all directions. Lu Yun turned his body into a lightning bolt, quickly dodged, and then looked at the mid-third rank demon leopards. Compared to the previous floor, this one just has 5 more late third rank demon beasts. It shouldn't be troublesome. Lu Yun took a deep breath, and the pure yang aura exploded in an instant. With the pure yang aura refined 10 times, its burst was even more powerful and intense. His body seemed to transform into a bolt of lightning, rushing towards the numerous demon leopards. At the same time, the white-scale purple-gold knife in his hand radiated an even more formidable and domineering aura. Those mid-third rank demon leopards couldn't withstand even a single strike and quickly turned into beams of spiritual light, disappearing. Roar! Seeing Lu Yun so arrogant, the 5 late third rank demon leopards roared in rage. Their sharp fangs kept biting, but they only managed to catch Lu Yun's afterimage. With his reaction and explosive power, Lu Yun was already much stronger than any martial artist at his level. Added to the fact that his Gale Thunder Flash step was close to perfection, dodging these late third rank demon leopards was simple. Windswept slash. The slaughter conception and pure yang aura erupted simultaneously. Killing intent enveloped Lu Yun, and the white-scale purple-gold knife's blade swirled with bright light. The demon leopards were instantly intimidated, pausing for a moment. And in the midst of the bloody light and astonishing killing intent, endless gales raged. Within the gale, blood flowed and blades glared. Splat! One after another, the demon leopards' bodies were swept up by the gale, pierced by the blade chi, fell to the ground, and then turned into beams of spiritual light, disappearing. In the end, only the 5 late third rank demon leopards remained. Lu Yun moved again, his body flickering, and raised his knife horizontally. Blade light like a blood moon, The blood moon slashed at the head of the demon leopard. With a booming sound, one of the demon leopards was split in two, just like the ground. After 4 more consecutive bursts, not a single demon leopard was left. At this point, Lu Yun's aggressive aura was only consumed by less than 30%. It had to be said that the aggressive aura refined 10 times was terrifyingly powerful. Even after using several powerful moves, he didn't consume much aggressive aura. Chapter 136. Astonishing Wind Extreme Saber Manual _4 When the aggressive aura was refined only 4 times, using the same technique would consume 3 to 4 times more aura, but the power it unleashed would be far less than it is now. Looking at the vortex gate that appeared in front of him, Lu Yun finally stopped his steps. To pass 3 levels at once and slay nearly 100 third-rank demon beasts, this is already the limit of most true Qi realm genius disciples. It's better to be more conservative and come back after some time. With this thought, Lu Yun exited the tower without hesitation. This time, with experience, Lu Yun instantly used Gale Thunder Flash Step as soon as he left the tower, turning into a lightning glow, and disappeared from everyone's sight. B0XO. Calm when he was completely alone, Lu Yun finally slowed down his pace. Thank goodness I ran fast. Recalling the disciples who had blocked the Myriad Phenomena Tower square just now, Lu Yun could only feel a lingering fear. Compared to when he first entered the Myriad Phenomena Tower, by the time he exited, the number of disciples on the square had doubled, filling up the entire area around the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall. If he hadn't run quickly, the result would have been unpredictable. Myriad Phenomena Square remained packed with people. As expected of senior brother Lu, he quickly passed the 11th, 12th, and 13th levels. The crowd looked at the top of the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall, where a message still lingered. Congratulations to Lu Yun for passing through the 13th level of Myriad Phenomena Tower. Most of these disciples were elite or ordinary disciples and had never even entered the 6th or 7th level of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. They had no idea what passing 3 levels at once meant, but they knew that those who could be reported on the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall must be outstanding individuals. However, a few people still knew some inside information. For example, Yun Feiyang, who was also a disciple of the Star Palace. I originally thought the rumors were exaggerated. Today I can see that Lu Yun is even more terrifying than what Zhang Jihe and others have said. Clad in a purple-black star robe, Yun Feiyang was tall and upright. His hands embraced a black treasure sword as he stared at Lu Yun's departing figure, lost in thought. His achievement in the Myriad Phenomena Tower was the 16th level. He was well aware of the power of the 11th, 12th, and 13th levels. Even martial artists who have refined their true Qi 9 times couldn't pass 3 levels at once. It wasn't due to a lack of strength, but because their true Qi couldn't support them in slaying nearly 200 third-rank demon beasts. However, Lu Yun had managed to do so, and in just under 2 hours, which was utterly terrifying. The moment Lu Yun appeared, Yun Feiyang noticed, and he thought of going over to greet and introduce himself. Unexpectedly, just as he took a step forward, he saw Lu Yun transform into a ray of lightning and vanish before his eyes. That speed, that explosive power, it didn't seem like he was exhausted and depleted of true Qi. Instead, it was clear that he still had plenty of energy left. What's wrong, senior brother Yun? Noticing Yun Feiyang's abnormality, Feng Buhui asked in surprise. In his impression, his senior brother Yun was always gloomy. Other than cultivation, he rarely paid attention to anything else. This time, had it not been for his own suggestion, he definitely wouldn't have come to the Myriad Phenomena Tower. I just saw a junior brother. A very terrifying and unusually low-key junior brother. A junior brother who will soon catch up with and surpass us. Feng Buhui wore a pure white star robe, his black hair casually flowing down, his face adorned with a gentle smile, giving off a kind and approachable vibe. Haha, Among all our junior brothers, the one who can make senior brother Yun think so highly of must be Meng Hongfei, right? Lu Yun. Yun Feiyang continued. While you were challenging the 16th level, Lu Yun sequentially passed the 11th, 12th, and 13th levels. Moreover, his condition after exiting the tower was still good, and his consumption did not seem to be significant. So it's that junior brother Lu Yun. No wonder there are so many more people suddenly. Feng Buhui scanned the crowd in the square, finally resting his gaze on the myriad phenomena Jade Wall. Chapter 137. Keeping up with the Joneses, asking for monthly tickets. At the Myriad Phenomena Square, many disciples eventually did not wait to see Lu Yun. However, they still spread the news that Lu Yun had passed through 3 levels and ultimately stopped at the 14th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. This news, like a stone falling into the lake, created waves, deeply touching the hearts of certain people. A small courtyard in a secluded path was home to a towering tree. Under the tree, Yi Xingchen, dressed in a black robe, looked at the young man in a white star robe with astonishment. B0XO. Calm, Meridian Passage Realm? Yi Xingchen's gaze fell on the young man in front of him. When he first learned that this little guy's innate talent had broken the innate talent stone, he defied public opinion and broke his previous vow of not accepting any more disciples, taking him as a closed-door disciple. Unexpectedly, in just over half a month, Gu Yuan had broken through from the mid-stage of Enter Martial Realm to the Meridian Passage Realm, which was truly terrifying progress. "Master, I want to break into the Myriad Phenomena Tower," said Gu Yuan. Gu Yuan now wore a pure white star robe, his eyes clear as spring water, exuding an air of nobility compared to the village boy in animal fur clothes from the past. Yi Xingchen shook his head, practice first, and put the idea of breaking into the Myriad Phenomena Tower aside for a while. "Master, I want to gain fame like senior brother Lu and prove to others that I am worthy of being your disciple." Gu Yun's fists clenched, his face filled with determination. Yi Xingchen smiled and said, "Gaining fame might not necessarily be a good thing for you. Besides, you don't need to prove anything to others. In my eyes, you are better than anyone else. But, all right, you should first consolidate your cultivation. Tomorrow, one will teach you new martial arts technique." Star Peak. In a detached small building. "Lu Yun has passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower?" Bai Haoshuan whispered, his eyes like a sword's light as he glanced at the half-sun hanging in the sky, still coloring the horizon. Whoosh! Dressed in a pure white robe, Bai Haoshuan flew down from Star Peak and headed towards the Myriad Phenomena Tower. Since being promoted to a Star Palace disciple, he had been practicing hard. Upon emerging from his seclusion and hearing the news of Lu Yun's advancement through the tower, he couldn't sit still. Not long after, he appeared in front of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. At this time, night was about to fall, and Myriad Phenomena Square seemed somewhat deserted, with only a dozen scattered people. Bai Haoshuan didn't line up and went directly into the Myriad Phenomena Tower. An hour later, he reappeared outside the tower with an unpleasant expression and left the Myriad Phenomena Square. On the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall, there was a message displayed. "Congratulations to Bai Haoshuan for passing the 12th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower." In the valley where elite disciples lived, there was a small courtyard. Ma Yunfei, tall and straight, with long limbs, well-defined features and a look of shock on his face, had heard that Lu Yun had passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. The 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? Lu Yun actually passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? Why is his progress so fast? Why? Ma Yunfei's right hand, holding the gun handle, couldn't help but exert force, making a crackling sound, his face somewhat distorted. Why is there such a big gap between me and him, even though we both have level 5 innate talent? He has already been promoted to a Star Palace disciple and passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, while I can't even get through the 10th floor. Ma Yunfei was a genius who had entered the martial academy at the same time as Lu Yun, possessing top-level 5-star innate talent. When he first entered the martial academy, he had exhibited brilliant talent, surpassing many other 5-star innate talent students and being the first to pass the 6th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. Now, he also had not let down his 5-star top-level innate talent fame, having completed a true Qi refinement. Just recently, he had attempted to break through the 10th floor to get promoted to the Star Palace. However, he had failed. Who could have imagined that just a few days later, he would hear the news of Lu Yun passing the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? Am I really inferior to Lu Yun and Xiao Qin? Ma Yunfei's hands tightly gripped the gun handle, his body shaking violently. What? After Lu Yun, Bai Haoxuan emerged from seclusion and broke through the Myriad Phenomena Tower, passing the 12th floor? And he did so in one attempt. The news about Lu Yun and Bai Haoxuan spread simultaneously throughout the martial academy. Many onlookers focused on comparing Lu Yun and Bai Haoxuan, while other martial arts practitioners with firm resolve secretly prepared to make a name for themselves. Past the 13th floor? Upon hearing the news, Xiao Qun did not appear to be very surprised, and calmly continued his cultivation. An hour later, he appeared in front of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. At this time, Myriad Phenomena Square was already filled with people, all eager to break into the Myriad Phenomena Tower and make their mark. However, the Myriad Phenomena Tower could only accommodate 50 people at a time, and the many disciples lined up in an orderly manner. Seeing the queue with 500 to 600 people, Xiao Qin frowned slightly. In the end, he still held back his impatience and joined the queue. Fortunately, most people were just here to try their luck and didn't linger long, leaving the tower quickly. Soon it was Xiao Qin's turn. 2 hours later, Xiao Qin walked out of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. At the very top of the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall, a conspicuous message was displayed. Congratulations to Xiao Qin for passing the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. Looking at the message, the many Martial Academy disciples in Myriad Phenomena Square were completely stunned. Xiao Qin? He had been in the Martial Academy for just over a year, and he, too, had passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower in one attempt. What? Not only Lu Yun, but even Xiao Qin has passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? He is a 5-star top-level innate talent, and so am one. But he has passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, while I am still struggling on the 10th floor. Chapter 138. Comparison, Request for Monthly Ticket, _2 Ma Yunfei was completely stunned, his thoughts in a mess, as if he were being attacked by countless insects. No, one need to try again. If Xiao Qin and Lu Yun can pass the 13th floor, one don't believe I can't pass the 10th floor this time. With that in mind, he picked up his long spear and headed towards the Myriad Phenomena Tower. When he arrived at the tower, he saw many familiar faces, all of whom had entered the Martial Academy around the same time as him and possessed level 5 innate talent. There were Wang Ting, An Yuan, Lu Jinsi, Luo Yuejiao and several other level 5 innate talent geniuses. B0XO. Come, ha ha ha, Ma Yunfei, you're here too, said Wang Ting with a domineering tone. This time, your position as the 4th person will not be preserved, and I will be the first one to be promoted to the Star Palace after Lu Yun and the others. You, Wang Ting, can pass the 10th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? Ma Yunfei sneered, his face full of disdain. Wang Ting grinned. Whether one can or not, you'll know soon. Soon, it was their turn. They transformed into streams of light and entered the Myriad Phenomena Tower. An hour later, An Yuan, Lu Jinsi, and Luo Yuejiao came out one after another, still unable to pass the 9th floor. 2 hours later, Ma Yunfei exited the tower, his face dark as water. Not long after, Wang Ting strode out of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, his face brimming with a confident smile. He scanned the area and immediately saw Ma Yunfei, who was not far away. He walked over, patted Ma Yunfei's shoulder forcefully and laughed, "Junior brother Ma, it won't be long before I become a disciple of the Star Palace." "You passed the 10th floor?" Ma Yunfei's eyes sank slightly, and his face looked a bit unnatural. "Haha, of course." Wang Ting laughed and left. At this time, the A/Tyriad Phenomena Square was quite lively, but Ma Yunfei's heart was very cold, colder than it had ever been before. Why has Wang Ting, who used to lag far behind me, surpassed me now? I spend every day either eating, doing tasks, or practicing, without wasting a single minute. So why am one being surpassed by them one after another? My talent is no worse than theirs, and one was ahead of Lu Yun and Xiao Chen at the beginning, so why am one being surpassed by them one by one now? Ma Yunfei continually pondered in his heart, various emotions filling him, making it difficult for him to calm down. "No, I must be calm." He kept telling himself this. The Myriad Phenomena Square was still bustling, and many disciples were discussing Wang Ting, the victorious and proud Wang Ting who had laughed and left. At this moment, Ma Yunfei's eyes gradually turned inward, and his mind gradually calmed down. He said in a low voice, "One have a top-notch level 5 innate talent, and am one of the most talented people besides level 6 innate talent. I should be confident, cultivate with a clear mind, break through the mental shackles left by Xiao Chen and Lu Yun in the past, and only by completely parting with my former self can I." Ma Yunfei was originally a clever person with a determined martial arts will. He quickly came to a realization. The reason why he was surpassed by Wang Ting so quickly was that Xiao Chen and Lu Yun had become his obsession, shackling his heart, causing his progress to become slower and slower. That's why he was stuck at the 10th floor and surpassed by Wang Ting. How to break the shackles of Lu Yun and Xiao Chen? Lu Yun and Xiao Chen are able to pass the 11th, 12th, and 13th floors of the Myriad Phenomena Tower in one go, which shows that their talents and strengths far exceed the limit of level 5 innate talent. Even Bai Haoxuan, who has a level 6 innate talent, cannot achieve this. My target was wrong from the beginning. Xiao Chen and Lu Yun are not the ones I should be chasing and surpassing. I should let go of my obsession with comparing myself to them. After fully realizing and letting go of his obsession, Ma Yunfei suddenly felt that the world had become incredibly vast. Xiao Chen has also passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower in one go? At Star Peak, inside a small building, Bai Haoxuan's eyes sank, and an invisible momentum burst out, causing the objects in the room to tremble violently, as if they would shatter at any moment. How can these two useless level 5 innate talents be so strong? Bai Haoxuan always felt it was unbelievable. His cultivation speed was already exceptional among the many level 6 innate talents, but now he had been surpassed by Lu Yun and Xiao Chen, who were merely level 5 innate talents. Especially when he knew about the situation on the 11th, 12th, and 13th floors of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, he knew what it meant to pass 3 floors in a row. It was either possessing absolute strength or having almost infinite true qi. Besides that, there was no other possibility. Star Peak, small building number 3358. On the balcony. I didn't expect that just by trying the Myriad Phenomena Tower once, one would cause such a stir in the Martial Academy. Lu Yun's face was somewhat strange. To be promoted to the Star Palace Junior and then pass 3 levels of the Myriad Phenomena Tower in one go, how many people in the entire Martial Academy can do that? How could it not be a sensation? As he spoke, Duan Qing's face showed a smile, with a bit of a narrow smile. Lu Yun was clearly stunned for a moment. Are there very few people who can pass 3 levels consecutively after the 10th level of the Myriad Phenomena Tower? Not just a few, it's simply as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. No way, there are so many disciples, and the Martial Academy has been established for such a long time. How long could it have been? Only 200 or 300 years of history at most. At this point, Duan Qing sighed. In the end, the entire Ling province only has a history of more than 300 years, and compared to the 9 states, the martial arts level of Ling province is simply not on the same level. Lu Yun agreed with this quite a bit. So far, he had come across no more than a handful of level 6 and 8 talents, and apart from Gu Yuan, there was not a single person with a level 7 and 8 talent. In the whole Flying Spirit Martial Academy, a level 5 and 8 talent is already considered a heavenly pride. It should be known that level 5 and level 6 and 8 talents are actually only considered average talents at best. Peeking at one prefecture and observing the whole province, the entire Spirit Martial Prefecture's martial arts holy land is like this, showing how few talents there are in Ling province and how backward their martial arts levels are. It didn't take long for Duan Qing to say goodbye and leave. His visit this time was to help Lu Yun deal with the Sumi bag and other items from last time. A total of 430 contribution points were obtained and have already been transferred to Lu Yun. If it were a few days ago, getting such a sum of contribution points would definitely make Lu Yun happy for a long time. Unfortunately, times are different now. Having a sizable amount of contribution points, he really doesn't care about such a small amount of contribution points anymore. If it wasn't for Duan Qing coming to him, he might have even forgotten about it. The higher you go in the Myriad Phenomena Tower, the more contribution points you will get after passing. Passing the 11th level earns you 4,000 contribution points. 12th level, 5,000 contribution points. 13th level, 6,000 contribution points. Now, the amount of contribution points on Lu Yun's token has reached an unprecedented 5-digit number, a total of 11,730. I can set the Myriad Phenomena Tower aside for now, but how should one spend all these contribution points? Lu Yun played with his token and fell into deep thought. If it was at the beginning, he would have gone to the pill medicine building without hesitation and exchanged it all for pills, then refined them to convert them into energy values. But after thinking about it for a bit, he discarded this idea. Exchanging for a dozen or so profound origin pills is normal and wouldn't attract anyone's attention, as this is a pill that can help True Qi realm martial artists speed up their refining of True Qi. But if you exchange for too many, it becomes abnormal, and anyone can see the trick in it. Especially considering the current situation where he is at the center of attention. Thinking of this, Lu Yun couldn't help feeling depressed. Now that he has so many contribution points, he has nowhere to spend them. No, one must become an alchemist no matter what. Otherwise, my progress will not only be limited in the future, but the risk of exposure will also increase. Thinking of this, Lu Yun became even more determined to become an alchemist. There are still 5 months until the treasure auction Duan Qing mentioned, so there's no rush. Lu Yun slowly calmed down and pondered his plan for the next few months. First of all, he needed to accumulate more contribution points, convert them into spirit crystals, and prepare for the treasure auction. Secondly, go to the book collection pavilion to settle down and learn the basic knowledge of pills and spirit herbs securely. Last but not least, continue to secretly cultivate while waiting for the commotion around the Myriad Phenomena Tower to gradually subside. Chapter 139. Auction Conference in advance. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed. During this period, Bai Haoxuan made a strong comeback, successively passing the 13th and 14th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, ultimately stopping at the 15th floor. Apart from that, Duan Qing, Ma Yunfei and others, a total of 9 people passed the 10th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower and were promoted to Star Palace disciples. Both Lu Yun and Xiao Chen seemed to have vanished without a trace, never appearing before anyone else again. At the same time, Bai Haoxuan's rise in status made his reputation soar in the martial academy. Many people truly realized the terrifying talent of his level 6 innate talent. B0XO. Calm people's memory of certain things is short-lived, not because they are forgotten, but because they are hidden away in the corner of their minds due to a long time without contact. Without any stimulation, they won't be easily recalled. Lu Yun and Xiao Chen have disappeared for 3 months straight. The students in the martial academy seem to have forgotten about them. In a secret cultivation room, Lu Yun's eyes suddenly opened. Name: Lu Yun. Power: Flying Spirit. Martial Academy. Martial Arts. 7 Kill Saber Technique. Reached Profound. Cannot be improved. Black Tiger Saber Technique. Perfection. Cannot be improved. Astonishing Wind Saber Manual. 4th Layer. 8%. Gale Thunder Flash Step. Perfection. Cannot be improved. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon. True Chi Chapter. Reached Profound. 2%. Innate Talent. Level 6. Martial Arts. True Chi Realm. Refined 11 times. Energy Value. 112. Automatically increases by 1 every 2 days. Conception. Slaughter Conception. First rank. 47%. 4th Layer of the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual. Gale Thunder Flash Step at Perfection. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon. True Chi Chapter. Reached Profound. This was the harvest of Lu Yun's 3 months in seclusion, during which he did not use any energy value. It must be said that as excessive refinement of pure Yang aura is more difficult in later stages. Without the help of energy values, it took Lu Yun nearly 2 months to complete the 11th refinement. It only took a month to improve Gale Thunder Flash Step to perfection and practice the Astonishing Wind Saber Manual till the 4th layer. From this, it can be seen that the 11th refinement of pure Yang aura was extremely difficult. Lu Yun had a hunch that if he didn't use energy values, it would take him at least a year, and maybe even longer, to complete the 12th refinement of pure Yang aura. The closer to the limit, the harder it is to break through, and this is after his innate talent had risen to level 6. Mind stirring slightly, Lu Yun began to observe his dantian. At this moment, the pure Yang aura in his dantian had become even more intense, gathering in one spot, like a sun that couldn't be looked upon directly. Inside the meridians, the pure Yang aura surged like magma, violently crashing and flowing through his limbs and bones. Each piece of flesh and blood, every bone, became more tenacious and contained infinite power. Feeling the increasingly powerful blood and extraordinary physical body, a faint smile appeared on Lu Yun's face. He felt that he could now knock down his previous self with just one punch. This was the enhancement brought about by the completion of the 11th refinement of pure Yang aura. This was the terrifying power of forging the supreme foundation. However, he knew very well that he was still weak. Facing a 5th-rank demon beast, he could only choose to escape. If he wanted to change this outcome, he had to continue his efforts from the middle. When he became truly powerful, he could simply blast 5th or 6th-rank demon beasts apart with a single punch or slash them down with a single knife. I still have 112 energy values left. One can continue to improve. With a calm mind, Lu Yun continued his progress. According to his usual practice, he should have consumed 200 energy values all at once. However, he is not in a position to be extravagant right now. He turned his attention to the pure Yang martial arts canon True Chi chapter. Advance! Instantly, the energy value dropped from 112 to 12. At the same time, a small part of pure Yang aura completed the 12th refinement. And on the panel, the progress of cultivation of pure Yang martial arts canon True Chi chapter increased to 4% in the reached profound stage. 100 energy values, only increasing by 2 cultivation progress. This result instantly stunned Lu Yun. Terrifying, simply terrifying. At perfection, it only took 20 energy points to advance 1 progress level. And now, it took him 50 energy points to increase a single progress level, an increase of 5 times. Lu Yun's brows furrowed. At this rate, he would need nearly 5,000 energy values to complete the 12th refinement. However, if I can forge the supreme foundation, it's all worth it. Having thought this through, Lu Yun's brow finally relaxed. Let me test to what extent my physical body has improved. He took out the white-scale purple-gold knife and lightly swiped it across his left palm. A cold sensation invaded his body as he looked down but saw no trace of blood, only a faint mark. The white-scale purple-gold knife is a superior true artifact, capable of easily cutting through iron. Countless third-rank demon beasts have been killed by it. Now, however, it cannot break my defense. Lu Yun's heart was filled with excitement. Then, he infused some strength and swept it over his palm again. A faint pain surged, leaving only a shallow wound, which quickly healed. Continuing, he infused aggressive aura, and the white-scale purple-gold knife forcefully cut across his hand again. An intense pain invaded his mind, and simultaneously, a bloody red trace appeared on his palm, with blood rapidly dripping down. However, it didn't last long. The wound stopped bleeding, and a numb, ticklish sensation arose. Under Lu Yun's watch, the almost skeletal wound gradually healed, scabbed, and then fell off. The whole process took only the time of a cup of tea. This recovery speed was simply terrifying. Without the protection of the aggressive aura, ordinary third-rank demon beasts can't withstand a single attack. This proves that my physical body, even without the protection of aggressive aura, is stronger than an average third-rank demon beast. Chapter 140. The auction starts early _2. Moreover, the recovery speed is even better than before. Is this the feedback brought by breaking through the limits over and over again? Lu Yun was both excited and pleasantly surprised by the enhancement of his physical body. A true Qi realm martial artist will experience physical body refinement and feedback every time they complete a true Qi refining process. Lu Yun's pure yang aggressive aura has undergone 11 refinements, and his physical defense and recovery far surpass that of a true Qi realm martial artist. B0XO. Even the body of a transforming origin realm expert cannot compare to his. Just by completing 11 refinements, his physical body has reached this level. So what if he completes the 12th refining? Lu Yun is now eagerly anticipating to see how terrifying his physical defense and recovery speed will become after refining his aggressive aura for the 12th time. Looking at the flawless palm of his left hand, Lu Yun couldn't help but reveal a satisfied smile on his face. Putting away his long blade, he walked out of the cultivation room and headed towards the Myriad Phenomena Tower. After 3 months of precipitation, the Myriad Phenomena Square has returned to its original appearance, with occasional disciples coming and going, no longer as lively as it was before. In order to keep a low profile and avoid causing a commotion, Lu Yun directly used his perfected Gale Thunder Flash step to enter the tower. The 14th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. In the dense forest, 5 strong giant apes were staring at the suddenly appearing human in front of them, somewhat dumbfounded, as was Lu Yun. This was a scene of direct confrontation. Roar! The gray-black giant ape, after reacting, opened its mouth and roared at Lu Yun. Within the powerful storm, the terrifying sound waves and power caused the trees on both sides to sway and snap in half like weed. Meanwhile, palms as thick and sturdy as mountains struck down at Lu Yun from all directions. At the moment they were about to touch him, a terrifying pure yang aura erupted, accompanied by a dazzling flash of light. It resembled sunlight, gorgeous and blinding. Immediately after, the rumbling collision echoed and the surrounding ground shook violently, as if there had been a huge impact. In an instant, the towering trees around were blasted away, and the 5 sturdy giant apes were also blown away. A flash of thunder flickered in the sky, and the blade's edge burst out in an instant. Puchi Piuchi Piuchi. Lu Yun, in his purple-black star robe, landed and sheathed his long blade. Rumble! The sounds of rumbling came, and the huge bodies of the 5 giant apes soon fell to the ground, with huge blood holes appearing in their necks, hearts, and heads. Not long after, they turned into a spiritual light and disappeared into the 14th floor space of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. It took only a dozen breaths to deal with the 5 third-rank late-stage giant ape. If others knew about this, it would surely set off another wave of terror. However, it's a pity that such a scene was seen by no one, and it was impossible for anyone to have witnessed it. Lu Yun smiled slightly and disappeared into the Myriad Phenomena Tower. From beginning to end, he never exposed himself. The only traces left were the additional 7,000 contribution points on his token, bringing the total to a terrifying 18,730. Pill Medicine Building. Senior Brother Lu, long time no see. Upon seeing the young man in a purple-black star robe with an extraordinary face, his expression was immediately filled with excitement as he rushed to greet him right away. He had been looking forward to seeing Lu Yun for a long time. Every time he attended to Lu Yun, he received a considerable bonus. However, this time Lu Yun had been silent for a full 3 months, making him extremely anxious. If he waited any longer and Lu Yun still didn't come, he would be prepared to resign from his position as a disciple of the Pill Medicine Building and concentrate on his cultivation. Just when he was about to give up, Lu Yun finally appeared again. 5 bottles of Profound Origin Pill. Lu Yun handed his token to Yao Lin without any politeness. Got it. Yao Lin took the identity token and jogged away. In no time, he returned carrying 5 bottles of Profound Origin Pill. Senior Brother Lu, please take this. This will be the last time one serve you. Yao Lin's face was somewhat reluctant. The last time? Why? Lu Yun looked at Yao Lin, whose current state was already at the mid-stage of Meridian Passage realm, comparable to most elite disciples. From now on, I want to take on some demon slaying and demon extermination missions, so that I can get contribution points faster and temper myself as well. Lu Yun nodded slightly. Although the treatment in the Pill Medicine Building was good, there was less time for cultivation and it wasn't worth sacrificing. If it weren't for meeting such a big spender like him, Yao Lin might not have even reached the early stage of the Meridian Passage realm yet. Even though he is currently at the mid-stage of the Meridian Passage realm, his realm is somewhat unstable, which can be seen as the result of taking too many pills. Keep practicing hard. In the future, there may be a place for you among the Star Palace disciples. Encouraging him insincerely, Lu Yun put away the pills and the token and turned to leave. Watching Lu Yun's departing figure, Yao Lin's face was full of admiration and envy. If only one had the talent and strength like Senior Brother Lu, one could continually take pills to enhance my strength. Unfortunately, my innate talent is too poor. The poorer the innate talent, the more cautious one should be in using pills during cultivation. They must not use pills to cultivate unless it is a critical moment. The more pills a martial artist consumes, the more pill poison accumulates in the body, and the greater the drug resistance. When reaching a bottleneck, it becomes difficult to break through with the aid of pills. Therefore, even geniuses with better innate talent will not use pills to cultivate frequently. Only after expelling most of the pill poison from their bodies will they continue to use pills to speed up their cultivation. Chapter 141. Advance Auction. Yao Lin was extremely envious of Lu Yun's ability to consume so many pills and maintain such a rapid progress. After returning to his own residence, Lu Yun went straight to the cultivation room. Looking at the 5 bottles of Profound Origin pills in front of him, Lu Yun shook his head slightly. If he could, he would like to exchange for 10 or 20 bottles directly. Unfortunately, he couldn't. B0XO. Calm at the Pill Medicine Building, he clearly felt several gazes coming from the shadows. Even though they were very subtle, Lu Yun still noticed them. Those gazes should belong to the Martial Academy's elders. It seems that my frequent exchanges for pills have indeed attracted the attention of others. I need to reduce my visits to the Pill Medicine Building in the future. With a silent thought, Lu Yun put away his thoughts and prepared to start refining the Profound Origin pills. An hour later, 50 profound origin pills were fully refined. Energy value, 1751, automatically increases by 1 in 2 days. Lu Yun's mind settled on the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Chi chapter. Upgrade. Consume 200 energy points. Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Chi chapter upgraded to reach profound 8%. In the end, with only 1 energy value remaining, the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Chi chapter was upgraded to reach profound 39%. Meanwhile, more than a third of the pure yang aggressive aura inside his body had completed its 12th refinement. Regulating his mind, Lu Yun internally viewed his dantian, feeling the terrifying energy contained in the section of the pure yang aggressive aura beneath the dantian. He had a premonition that as long as he could casually unleash an aura, it would instantly explode a late-stage martial artist of the True Chi realm. Despite being in the same True Chi realm, the strength of my pure yang aggressive aura is dozens of times stronger than martial artists of the same rank. Even a transforming origin realm martial artist's true origin cannot be compared to it in terms of power. Feeling the all-around power, the joy in Lu Yun's eyes grew stronger and stronger. Now, the only thing restricting my continuous improvement in strength is energy value. Looking at the jade bottles on the ground, Lu Yun couldn't help but reveal a bitter smile on his face. Sigh, a heavy responsibility lies ahead. After casually putting away the jade bottles, Lu Yun got up and stepped out of the cultivation room. Upon arriving on the balcony, he was instantly showered with warm sunshine, making his entire body feel snug and warm. For the past 3 months, apart from occasional meals, he had been cultivating and had hardly ever been out in the sunlight. Now, basking in the warm and gentle sunlight and enjoying the mountain breeze, he felt a sense of déjà vu. 1 day's time quietly passed by. The next day, Lu Yun went to the Internal Affairs Hall. Today was the day to distribute cultivation resources, and there were already many people lining up. Of course, only Star Palace disciples and above were eligible to receive cultivation resources. Ordinary and elite disciples could only rely on themselves. At the resource collection area, Lu Yun saw several familiar faces: Duan Qing, Ma Yunfei, Wang Ting, Zhang Jihe, Li Yilin, and others. Haha, Lu Yun. Duan Qing waved to Lu Yun with a smile. Lu Yun nodded with a smile. Duan Qing's appearance here proved that he had passed the 10th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower and became a Star Palace disciple. As an old friend, Lu Yun was genuinely happy for him. The steward responsible for distributing the Star Palace disciples' cultivation resources was a middle-aged man in a black robe around 40 years old. He had an average appearance, and the only thing that attracted attention was his gray hair. Name. The middle-aged man in black never lifted his head. He simply asked for a name, then searched for the corresponding name in the roster, checked it off, and quickly distributed the resources. After Duan Qing had received a spirit crystal, he happily walked to Lu Yun's side. Lu Yun, you've been off the radar for 3 whole months. Did you go on a mission? Lu Yun shook his head. No, I've been in seclusion the whole time. Duan Qing squinted his eyes slightly. 3 months in seclusion? Yes. You're already so strong, yet you still practice so hard. Do you want to leave any room for the rest of us? Duan Qing's exaggerated expression attracted many gazes. Soon it was Lu Yun's turn. Name. The middle-aged man in the black robe still didn't lift his head. Lu Yun. Lu Yun. The middle-aged man in the black robe muttered to himself, his gaze rapidly browsing the roster, and soon found Lu Yun. Lu Yun, 3 months ago, successfully passed the 13th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower. He can obtain 4 spirit crystals every month and has not received any cultivation resources for the last 3 consecutive months, accumulating 12 spirit crystals in total. After saying that, he took out 12 spirit crystals and placed them on the counter, never lifting his head from beginning to end. Lu Yun didn't mind, collected the 12 spirit crystals, and let the next person take his place. then left with Duan Qing. Lu Yun, you should prepare in advance. The auction has been brought forward by more than a month, and there's only half a month left. Duan Qing suddenly reminded him on the way. Brought forward by half a month? Lu Yun's eyebrows slightly furrowed. It wasn't that he didn't want the auction to be earlier. On the contrary, he wished for the auction to be held tomorrow, so he could get the pill recipe earlier. Unfortunately, he didn't have enough spirit crystals yet. His reason for leaving seclusion this time was to get spirit crystals, and he already had a plan in mind. That was to take on an Earth-rank demon extermination mission. Spirit crystals are essential cultivation resources for high-level martial artists, and these high-level martial artists of the evil cult would certainly have many on them. As long as he completed 1 or 2 Earth-rank demon extermination missions, he would have contribution points as well as spirit crystals. But now the auction was suddenly brought forward by more than a month, completely disrupting his plans. Are you worried about the spirit crystals? Lu Yun nodded, his face looking a bit unhappy. Right now, he only had 14 spirit crystals, 12 of which were just received from his cultivation resources. Duan Qing laughed. What's there to worry about? Don't you have a lot of contribution points right now? Just casually exchange 4 or 5,000, and you'll have enough spirit crystals, won't you? Hearing this, Lu Yun first looked astonished. Soon after, his eyebrows relaxed and he slapped his thigh, exclaiming, "That's right! How could I not have thought of that? Hee, you've probably been too preoccupied with figuring out how to get contribution points," Duan Qing teased. True, a better view is often from a distance, Duan Qing added, but don't celebrate too early. Firstly, you have to find a few people who need contribution points and have spirit crystals. Otherwise, it'll all be in vain. Lu Yun turned around and looked at Duan Qing, smiling. Isn't there you? Duan Qing hurriedly shook his head. No, I can only handle small transactions. I can't handle such large amounts. Hearing this, Lu Yun didn't insist, saying, All right, I'll handle this matter myself. However, you have to make time for the auction in half a month. Of course, that's not a problem. Chapter 142, Zijin Auction House, requesting monthly tickets. In a very neat and clean room, a young man dressed in a purple-black star robe with an elegant and graceful face wearing a calm smile, greeted Lu Yun to sit down and laughed. Junior brother, may I know your name? Senior brother, isn't it customary to introduce yourself first before asking others? Lu Yun smiled and glanced at another person in the room. This was a woman, around 20 years old, also wearing a star robe, but a female version. B0XO. Calm, she was very beautiful, with icy skin, bright eyes, white teeth, and black hair like ink. Among the women Lu Yun had ever met, she could rank within the top 3. Of course, at present, Lu Yun had not met too many girls. The young man still had a calm and elegant smile on his face, nodding his head. My name is Jiang Tai. This is a friend of mine, Dan Tai Yu. The Dan Tai Yu he mentioned was the woman sitting nearby. While introducing Dan Tai Yu, her eyes, as clear as autumn water, also looked at Lu Yun with a slight smile in them. Lu Yun nodded to both of them. My name is Lu Yun. You can directly call me Junior Brother Lu. Junior Brother Lu? Surprise appeared on both Jiang Tai and Dan Tai Yu's faces. What's wrong? Is there any problem? Lu Yun asked curiously. Haha, no, it's just a bit surprising. Jiang Tai explained with a smile. Before this, we've heard of Junior Brother Lu's name more than once, but we never had the chance to meet. Seeing you today, you indeed live up to the title of Heavenly Pride. Haha, I'm just in the true Qi realm, hardly deserving the title of Heavenly Pride. Lu Yun modestly replied, then directly got to the point. I don't know who wants to trade with me. How many contribution points does Junior Brother Lu have? Dan Tai Yu asked. Lu Yun instantly knew who wanted to trade with him, looked up at Dan Tai Yu and laughed. 16,480. How many are you planning to trade? All of them. Upon hearing this, Dantai Yu curiously said, "Doesn't junior brother Lu plan to save some points for entering places like Heart Inquiry Pavilion and Thousand Illusion Hall for cultivation? They require quite a few contribution points." Lu Yun shook his head. "I'm short on spirit crystals now." After saying that, he added, "Of course, if senior sister Dantai doesn't have that many spirit crystals, we can reduce the trading amount." Junior brother Lu misunderstood. "I'm not lacking in spirit crystals," Dantai Yu said with a smile. "Well, let's start the trade." "There's no objection." Half a tea's time later. "Senior brother Jiang, senior sister Dantai, I'll take my leave." As soon as the words fell, Lu Yun left. A spirit crystal for 95 contribution points, isn't it a bit of a loss for senior sister? After Lu Yun left, Jiang Tai seemed to imply with a smile. In response, Dantai Yu just smiled faintly. "I'm not short on spirit crystals." Lu Yun returned to the balcony of his cultivation dwelling. "This trade brought me 170 spirit crystals, and with the ones I already had, I now have a total of 184. That's enough for the auction, and one can even buy some spirit herbs for refining pills." Playing with the sumi bag in his hand, Lu Yun recalled the scene of trading with Dantai Yu, and felt it was too easy. The other party had almost agreed with no hesitation to the price he proposed, which was beyond his expectation. Before finding a trading partner, Lu Yun had heard that the exchange rate between spirit crystals and contribution points among Martial Academy disciples was 1 to 100. That is to say, after some bargaining, one spirit crystal could usually be exchanged for 100 contribution points. Lu Yun had prepared to haggle with the other party, but the other party didn't follow the script at all. "Hee, it seems this is a master with spirit crystals." With a light laugh, Lu Yun returned to the cultivation room. There were 10 days left before the auction, and he planned to continue his hard cultivation. 10 days later. After 10 days of hard cultivation, one only managed to improve 3 progress points in the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Chi chapter. This progress is unbearably slow. Looking at the training progress of the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon shown on the panel, Lu Yun's face was full of bitter smiles. His talent was not low, and his cultivation wasn't lax, but he advanced only 1 progress point almost every 3 days. This showed the high difficulty of improving the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon True Chi chapter after reaching the Reach Profound level. Huh! Suddenly, Lu Yun's eyes narrowed, detecting some movement outside. He got up, walked out of the cultivation room, went to the balcony, and looked down to see Duan Qing knocking on the door outside the small building. "Junior brother Lu, it's time for us to set off. The auction will be held tonight." Seeing Lu Yun coming out, Duan Qing shouted loudly. "Damn, I almost forgot the most important thing." Lu Yun slapped his forehead, and then quickly packed up and left the house. When the two arrived at Spirit Martial Prefecture City, the sun was already high in the sky and scorching hot. "It's still early, let's go up and pass the time." Passing by a tavern, Duan Qing suggested. "Okay." Upon entering the tavern, Lu Yun casually glanced over and saw the plaque above. The words Sky One were engraved on it. Sky One Tavern was bustling, and the ground floor was already full of various guests, and the noise of conversations was quite loud. The two directly went up to the second floor, where a sharp-eyed waiter immediately greeted them. "What would you two like to eat?" "Just bring us something," Lu Yun casually replied, and then chose a few dishes and a pot of wine from the menu provided by the waiter. Chapter 143. Purple Gold Auction House, requesting monthly tickets. _2 The two were not here to satisfy their hunger, but merely to pass some time. "Please wait a moment, sirs. I will prepare your order right away." The waiter left. The first thing served was wine, and Lu Yun poured a glass for both himself and Duan Qing. As they drank their wine, they observed the situation downstairs and listened carefully to see if they could acquire any crucial information. B0XO. Calm today was the annual auction of the Spirit Marshal Prefecture, where people of all sorts gathered, making it an excellent time to gather information. Have you heard? There are pill recipes to be auctioned this time. If you want to become an alchemist, make sure you have enough spirit crystals. Yes, I heard that this time they're auctioning off 10 first-grade pill recipes at once. This has never happened before. One wonder what the reason is. Well, it doesn't really matter to us. Not to mention the lowest grade pill recipe costs tens of spirit crystals. Even if we could get one, it's just a piece of paper for most of us, and there's not much use. You're right. If it were so easy to become an alchemist, there wouldn't be so few alchemists in all of Morrigan. At several tables, people dressed as martial artists were drinking wine and conversing with others while shaking their heads. Passers-by who overheard the conversation could not help but join in. Some words flowed endlessly in places like the tavern. Lu Yun smiled faintly and emptied the wine in his glass. Good news, there are 10 pill recipes to be auctioned this time, which undoubtedly reduces the competition for you by a lot. Duan Qing tasted the wine and laughed. I hope so. Before long, someone delivered all the dishes Lu Yun had previously ordered. After the two had eaten a little, they paid the bill and left the Sky One Tavern when they thought the time was right. The Purple Gold Auction House, the only auction house in the Spirit Marshal Prefecture, belonged to the Purple Gold Chamber of Commerce. The Purple Gold Chamber of Commerce was one of the most top-notch chambers of commerce in Morrigan, with business covering the 13 provinces. And behind the Purple Gold Chamber of Commerce were Morrigan's top aristocratic families. According to some rumors, these families seemed to have countless connections with the royal family. With such a powerful background, no one dared to cause trouble at the auction. The Purple Gold auction venue was located in the east of the county capital, a grand and majestic hall. At the entrance, martial artists dressed in different clothes and with various cultivation levels walked slowly into the auction venue. Why do we have to wear masks? Can't we just walk in openly and honestly? On the street, Duan Qing could not help but say. There's a clever reason for that. You'll see when the time comes. Lu Yun laughed and did not further explain. Pill recipes, even the lowest grade ones, were scarce. For powerful martial artists or large families and forces, they held little attraction. Similarly, for some low cultivation martial artists or weak families, pill recipes held little use as they lacked the ability to train an alchemist. On the contrary, holding a pill recipe was like holding a ticking time bomb, tempting others to covet it at any time. Those who coveted first-grade pill recipes were usually the middle-level families with the strength to train alchemists. Their financial and martial strength was not lacking, but they were in need of pill recipes and alchemists. It didn't take long for the two to arrive at the east of the city, where they could see the grand and majestic Purple Gold auction venue from a distance. At this moment it was nearly evening, the sun was about to set, and the few clouds in the sky looked particularly beautiful under the sunlight. Upon seeing Lu Yun and Duan Qing wearing masks, a manager approached and asked, "Do the two of you have invitations?" "No." A deep and mellow voice came from Lu Yun. "If the two of you don't have invitations, you'll have to participate in the open bidding in the lobby." The middle-aged manager smiled, then arranged for a female servant to lead Lu Yun and Duan Qing into the venue. As soon as they entered the auction venue, the bright environment instantly disappeared, replaced by a dim, noisy, and bustling atmosphere. After finding a seat in the back, Lu Yun started observing the entire auction venue. The venue was very large and divided into several sections. In front of the venue was the auction stage. The stage was brightly lit with red carpets, and a large table was placed on it. Below the auction stage was the lobby, which was also very spacious, large enough to accommodate thousands of people easily. Only about a third of the seats were filled, as the auction had not yet begun. As time passed, more and more people continued to arrive. Lu Yun took a look around at these people. Many of them wore masks like himself, and some even had their entire bodies covered in black cloaks, making it impossible to discern their forms and outlines. Most of the people dressed like this were solitary martial artists. Those who were from the spirit martial prefecture families came in groups, and made no attempts to hide themselves. The second floor of the auction venue was filled with private booths. These booths all had a large piece of blue crystal glass, making it impossible to see the situation inside from the outside. It would be much more convenient if we could get a booth. Lu Yun thought to himself. Look, the auctioneer is a beautiful woman. As the seats in the lobby filled up, Duan Qing whispered to Lu Yun. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun looked up at the auction stage. At this moment, an enchanting woman dressed in luxurious clothing gracefully stepped onto the stage.